Live on a Friday night, it's Utah Grizzlies hockey, as it's the last of a two-game series as the Grizzlies take on the Wichita Thunder. Hi, everybody. I'm Tyson Whiting. Welcome to Utah Grizzlies hockey. It's the last of a two-game set, and for the Grizzlies, they're looking for a little bit of revenge as Wichita got a 6-4 victory in last night's game. And last night was certainly crazy as Wichita scored 3 unanswered goals in the first period. Kyle Jeffers made it a 1-0 game. He scored 2:39 in. Ryan Finnegan had a power play goal for Wichita, 11:01 in. And then Peter Bates scored 17:27 in, with Dickman and Barr getting the assists. But the Grizzlies responded strongly in the first 5 minutes of the second period. Neil Shea got on the board from the right wing, 1:06 into the second period. That was a 5-on-4 power play goal. And then exactly 90 seconds later, Stepan Timofeyev got his first goal as a Grizzly, with Danny Genev and Christian Felton getting the assist. And then Jack Ricketts scored 9 seconds after coming out of the penalty box after serving a minor penalty. Ricketts with a beautiful one-hand shot from out in front of the net that went glove side past Roddy Ross. And just like that, 3 minutes and 59 seconds after Neil Shea found the back of the net, Grizzlies had tied it up. Wichita made it a 4-3 game as Peter Bates redirected a TJ Lloyd shot 16:48 into the second period. Wichita led 4-3 after 2 periods. Thunder scored exactly 5 minutes into the third period as Kirby Proctor scored his first of the year. Grizzlies responded 12 seconds later as Evan Friesen got his first of the season, with Danny Genev getting his second assist of the game. It stayed a 5-4 game for the remainder of regulation, at least until Miguel Stenell scored an empty netter with 32 seconds left to give Wichita a 6-4 victory. Utah did outshoot Wichita 30-24, and there were some missed opportunities as the Grizzlies had a span of 3 minutes and 38 seconds where they had a power play situation of either 5-on-4 or 5-on-3 and just couldn't find a way to get the tying goal. Utah was 1 for 6 on the power play, when Wichita was 1 for 5. Dylan Wells got the loss in net for the Grizzlies. He saved 18 of 23. Roddy Ross got the victory for Wichita as he saved 26 of 30. We got a different goaltending matchup tonight. Kyle Kaiser makes his Grizzlies debut. He came over earlier this week from the AHL's Colorado Eagles. And for the Wichita Thunder, it's going to be Matt Davis, the former University of Denver product. He's in his first season as a pro. Davis, a native of Calgary, Alberta, and he's been Wichita's workhorse so far this season, as he has a record of 2-3-1-1 in 7 games this season. Well, I'm hanging out at the Grizz Cave just outside the Grizzlies team store, and hopefully we'll have a fun night for hockey. I think face-off's actually going to get pushed back about 10 minutes, so they're going to start at 15 after the next hour. So 6:15 in the Mountain Time Zone, I believe, is when they'll drop the puck. So we'll have a little bit of time to talk about Kyle Kaiser as he makes his Grizzlies debut. And we will also talk about some of the outstanding performers for the Grizzlies as of late, as well as a really strong forward line who each played outstanding hockey last night. We're in business on a Friday night, and you're listening to the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
Maverick's new bean-to-cup machines always deliver a freshly ground cup of coffee on demand, so you can enjoy any of our premium roasts at their best, day or night, hot or iced. Enjoy a fresh cup today.
From commercial to recreational truck accessories, Mountain Land Truck Outfitters has got what you need. Flatbeds, spray and bed liners, lifts and leveling kits, wheels and tires. Mountain Land Truck Outfitters proudly uses a brand you know and trust. And with our experienced, knowledgeable, and friendly staff, your visit here will be informative and enjoyable. Stop into our convenient location in Provo at 265 South 100 West or call 801-225-4637 to get a quote for your fleet or individual truck. Mountain Land
Since 1939, America First has helped people start businesses, buy homes and cars, and achieve their financial goals. Today, our top priority is still the financial success of you and your family, which is why we're giving new members $100 when they sign up for a basic savings and checking account, and another $100 when they upgrade to premium checking and enroll in and use direct deposit. So head to AmericaFirst.com today and join the credit union that always puts its members first.
Les Schwab changed the tire game more than 70 years ago. Today, we still believe that you should get more from less. Like exclusive tires we design ourselves means more tires made for the roads that you drive, less compromise. And we include America's best tire warranty in every tire we sell. It's more unbeatable warranty, less charging you extra. And our 60-day satisfaction guarantee means you'll be way more satisfied and way less stressed. For all this and more, you get more from less.
Welcome back to the Grizzlies Hockey Network. I'm Tyson Whiting. I'm all hopped up on albuterol and just ready to go on this Friday night. Face-off's going to be in about 20 minutes from now as they push face-off back from 6:05 to 6:15. Well, the Grizzlies have had some outstanding performers as of late, and I think about that forward line of Evan Friesen, Stepan Timofeyev, and Danny Geniev, as all three of those guys were outstanding in last night's game. Timofeyev and Friesen each had 1 goal and 1 assist. They were each a +1 for Utah. And Danny Geniev had 2 assists, and he was also a +1 for the Grizzlies in the 6-4 loss to the Wichita Thunder. How about Timofeyev? What's he done in the last 3 games? Well, he just has 1 goal and 4 assists, and he certainly played hard each and every shift. He plays a strong two-way game, and it seems like he gives a great effort. In the Grizzlies, with that forward line, they've gotten some great scoring chances as of late. You think about Danny Geniev, he's like lightning on skates. He can go from 0 to 60 in a blur. He has 3 or more shots in 5 of his 9 games this season, and he already has 2 multiple-point games in his time with Utah. Evan Friesen got his first multiple-point game of the season with the 2-point effort last night with 1 goal and 1 assist. And as for Timofeyev, that was certainly a great addition by John Buchanan as he was acquired in a trade from Greenville on October 23rd. That's going to be the starting forward line for the Grizzlies tonight: Geniev, Friesen, and Stepan Timofeyev. How about Neil Shea? He's played great hockey. He's got a goal in 3 straight games and a point in 4 straight games. Shea was a consistent performer last year as he had a point in more than half of Utah's games that he played in last year. He played in 36 of the 72 games. He also spent some time in the AHL with the Colorado Eagles. Shea's got a point in 6 of 9 games this season, and you can expect him to take many shots as he has 2 or more shots in 8 of 9 games on the campaign. You can also talk about Reed Lebster. He scored a goal, or he had an assist in last night's game. He's got 5 goals and 2 assists in his last 6 games. The 5 goals lead the Grizzlies, and he also has a 20% shooting percentage as he's 5 for 25 on the season. Jack Ricketts been outstanding. He scored a second period goal, and that was the game-tying goal, 5:05 into the second period. Ricketts has a point in 5 of 8 games this season and a goal in 4 of his last 8. And he plays a good two-way game as well. If you think about the last 2 years in college, he was a +40 combined as he played with Holy Cross College. And then last season, transferred to Quinnipiac, where he had 20 goals in 38 games. At Holy Cross, he was a teammate with John Gillette, who certainly put together a great effort for the Grizzlies this season. Gillette had 1 goal and 1 assist on October 30th as the Grizzlies defeated Jacksonville 6-4. Gillette's going to be one of 11 forwards for John Buchanan's crew this evening. Tyler Gratton, the Grizzlies captain's also had a pretty good stretch. He has a point in 5 of his last 7 games, 1 goal and 5 assists. Gratton last year led the Reading Royals with 20 goals. He's in his 2nd season as a pro. He played a couple years ago at Arizona State University, where he was the captain of the Sun Devils. And before that, Gratton played at Penn State University for 4 seasons, and he was a teammate with Danny Geniev for at least a couple of those campaigns. Gratton, a native of Pottstown, Pennsylvania. He is 6'2" and 187 pounds. So that's some of the stars for the Grizzlies. Also, watch out for Garrett Pike. He's my pick to click tonight. He had 2 goals at Greenville on October 17th, and he had 2 assists on October 30th against the Jacksonville Icemen. Griffin Ness has a point in 2 of his last 3 games. He'll be on the 4th forward line with John Gillette. Grizzlies' penalty kill has been pretty good as of late. They were 4 for 5 last night, and so far this season, they are at 86.7%. 26 for 30. It's going to be important for the Grizzlies to get off to a fast start tonight. Wichita's best period has been their first. They have outscored opponents 11-5 in the first period of games this season. For the Grizzlies, they've been outscored 11-8 in the first period. And last night, it was the Wichita Thunder getting off to a 3-0 lead after one period of play. So the Grizzlies are looking to get off to a better start. Utah has outscored opponents in each of the last two regulation periods. Grizzlies have an 8-7 edge in the second period, including a 3-1 edge last night. And the Grizzlies have outscored opponents 10-9 in the third periods this season. So it's going to be important for the Grizzlies to get off to a quick start against the Wichita Thunder. And remember, fatigue could play a factor for Wichita as it's their third game in as many days. They played on Wednesday morning where they lost 6-4 to the Allen Americans. And then last night, obviously, Wichita got a 6-4 victory over Utah. As for the Grizzlies, it's just their second game of a back-to-back, and Utah doesn't play till next Friday, and that's going to be the Grizzlies' next home game at Maverick Center, where they take on the Idaho Steelheads. Make sure to get your tickets for that one. It's Pucks and Pups at Maverick Center next Friday as the Grizzlies take on the Idaho Steelheads. They push face-off back about 10 minutes. Zamboni is still on the ice, and we're not entirely sure why. Face-off is going to be at 6:15 as opposed to 6 o'clock. But when we come back to the Grizzlies pregame report, we'll go over the starting lineups for both teams. We're in business on a Friday night, and you're listening to the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
Every new day is a chance to be kinder to your body and your mind. U of U Health is here to help you build strength and confidence every day. Let us help you be a better you. U of U Health, official health partner for the Utah Jazz, Utah Hockey Club, Utes Athletics, and the Utah Grizzlies. Take the first step today at uofuhealth.org.
We're 20, and yeah, we're celebrating big. Because in 20 years, we didn't just make the gear. We made hockey cooler. They said we were too loud, too flashy, too different. They told us to tone it down. The Warriors don't tone it down. We go full throttle. And this is just the start. 20 years in and we're just getting warmed up. We're still the brand that makes the gear you can win in, chirping, and partying. And if you thought we were bold before, just wait. The next 20 years start now.
Welcome back to the Grizzlies Hockey Network. I'm Tyson Whiting. Face-offs in about 13 minutes from now as the Grizzlies are at INTRUST Bank Arena to take on the Wichita Thunder. Let's go over the lineups for both teams. First, for the visiting Utah Grizzlies, who have a record of 3-5-1. They are 2-2-1 on the road, and they've outscored opponents 15-14 away from Maverick Center. They're led by first-year head coach John Buchanan. The traveling assistant coach is Ryan Anderson. Jack Skilley is assistant coach and director of skill development. Equipment manager is DJ McFarland, and the athletic trainer is Brooke Timoney. Getting the start in net for the Grizzlies will be Kyle Kaiser. He just joined the Grizzlies from the AHL's Colorado Eagles. Kaiser has 76 games of AHL experience, where he has a record of 31, 28, and 19 with a .903 save percentage and 2.77 goals against average. Kaiser spent time from 2019 through 2024 with the AHL's Providence Bruins, and he also spent some time in this league with the Maine Mariners. Last season, he was in the KHL, and this year, he signed an AHL contract with the Colorado Eagles. And with Colorado this season, he had a 2-1 record with a .937 save percentage and a 1.34 goals against average. You talk about a guy that's had some success this season. He's been around a time or two in pro hockey, and Kyle Kaiser's making his Grizzlies debut. He's wearing number 36 tonight, and the backup goaltender is Dylan Wells. So we'll see what Kyle Kaiser looks like tonight in a Grizzlies uniform, and Utah certainly could use a victory as they have lost 2 in a row. The starting forward line, and we talked about him earlier, that's the one that was outstanding last night. From left to right, it's Stepan Timofeyev with Evan Friesen and Danny Geniev. Those guys just created plenty of scoring chances in last night's game. Timofeyev and Friesen each had 1 goal and 1 assist, and Danny Geniev had 2 assists on the night. So that's the starting forward line of Timofeyev, Friesen, and Danny Geniev. That's the third forward line actually on John Buchanan's lineup card, and they're going to get the start this evening. Top forward line from left to right is Tyler Gratton, the Grizzlies captain, and he's out there with Luke Manning and Reed Webster. Webster has led the Grizzlies in scoring since February 1st of last year. Webster and Neil Shea are tied for the club lead with 7 points. Webster leads Utah with 5 goals on the season. He also has 2 assists, including 1 last night. The aforementioned Neil Shea is going to be in there. He's got a point in 4 straight games and a goal in 3 straight. In 9 games this season, Shea has 3 goals and 4 assists. He'll be the second line left wing, and he's going to be lined up next to Jack Ricketts, the first-year pro out of Holy Cross and Quinnipiac. Ricketts has 4 goals and 1 assist in 9 games. And Ty Voigt's going to be on the right wing of that second line. He's got 2 goals in 7 games this season. Third forward line is the starters, Timo Feyev, Friesen, and Danny Genev. Fourth forward line is John Gillette and Griffin Ness. The Grizzlies are going with 11 forwards and 7 defensemen, as Adam Berg is on the injured list with a lower body injury, and Rylan Kovacevic is serving the second of a 3-game suspension. The Grizzlies have 7 defensemen tonight. The starting defensive pairing is Luke Salem and Noah Gansky. Salem has 2 assists in 8 games this season. Gansky has 1 point with an assist in 8 games. Gansky 6'7" and 209 pounds. Christian Felton's going to be paired up with Garrett Pike. Felton had 1 assist last night. He has 1 goal and 2 assists in 9 games. And Garrett Pike has 2 goals and 2 assists in 8 games. He is my pick to click. Everybody make your pick as to who's going to be the player of the game for the Grizzlies tonight. Nadine's going to go with Reed Webster, and Spigali, I actually forgot how to pronounce his name. He's going with Danny Genev as his pick, and those are certainly good options. I'm going with Garrett Pike to have a strong night over in Wichita. Aiden Hansen-Buchanan is going to be paired up with Colby Enns. Enns picked up an assist last night. He's got 1 assist in 7 games, and Aiden Hansen-Buchanan is tied for the club lead with 5 assists on the season. He is making his 7th appearance in a Utah uniform, and he's in his 8th game overall as a pro, as he spent 1 game last season with the AHL's Syracuse Crunch. Sage Weinstein on an NHL contract. He'll be in there as well. Weinstein's looking for his first point of the season. He's in his 5th game as a Grizzly, and he'll be rotating in and out with the other defensemen on the Grizzlies roster. And with the Grizzlies going with 11 forwards, those will be mixed and matched quite a bit during the season. So that's the lineup for the Utah Grizzlies. When we come back, we'll go over the lineup of the Wichita Thunder. Face-off originally was going to be at 6:05, and they pushed it back 10 minutes. Face-offs in about 8 minutes from now over at INTRUST Bank Arena. This is the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
Maverick's new bean-to-cup machines always deliver a freshly ground cup of coffee on demand, so you can enjoy any of our premium roasts at their best, day or night, hot or iced. Enjoy a fresh cup today.
Welcome back to Utah Grizzlies Hockey. I'm Tyson Whiting. Let's go over the lineup of the homestanding Wichita Thunder, who are led by the 2020-21 League Coach of the Year, Bruce Ramsey. Thunder come in with a record of 3-3-2-1. At home this season, they are 2-1-1-1. So they've had a little bit of everything so far this season. Getting the start in net for Wichita is the University of Denver product, Matt Davis. Davis is in his 8th game as a Thunder. So far this season, he's got a record of 2-3-1-1 with 1 shutout. He has a .922 save percentage and 2.56 goals against average. Davis is 6'1" and 194 pounds. The backup goaltender for Wichita is Roddy Ross, who got the victory last night where he saved 26 of 30. The starting defensive pairing, both guys are from Lloydminster, but they're from different provinces, as the Alberta native is Kirby Proctor from Lloydminster. He scored a goal in the 3rd period last night, and TJ Lloyd, who thought he scored a goal late in the 2nd period, but it was redirected by Peter Bates. That's a pretty strong starting defensive pairing. Proctor and Lloyd. Noah Beck will be paired up with Jack Barr, and Nico Somerville is going to be paired up with Kyle Masters. Masters, the former Iowa Wild and Iowa Heartlander D-man. So that's the 6 defensemen for Bruce Ramsey's crew. All 6 of them are natives of Canada. The starting forward line for the Wichita Thunder includes Ryan Finnegan, who scored a first-period goal. Finnegan has 1 goal and 1 assist in 9 games. Jake Wallen's got 1 goal in 9 games. It's Wallen's 5th season with Wichita. And Declan Smith, who has 1 assist in 9 games. Smith is 6 feet and 200 pounds. Top forward line for the Thunder from left to right is Mikkel Stenell with Peter Bates and Jay Dickman. Bates was the number 1 star last night with 2 goals. Kyle Krinkovic, who spent part of last season with the Allen Americans. In fact, he was in training camp, if I remember right, with the Utah Hockey Club prior to the 2024-25 NHL season. Kyle Jeffers will be the second-line center, and Donovan Huell will be on the right wing. Huell's got some AHL time with the San Jose Barracuda, the San Jose Barracuda, who is the Wichita Thunder's AHL affiliate. Fourth forward line from left to right is Spencer Blackwell with Nick Nardicia and Tyrone Bronte. 1 subtraction to the Wichita lineup as Lucas Van Roboys was called up to the AHL San Jose Barracuda earlier today. As they introduced the Thunder starting lineups with the lights flickering back and forth with a little bit of a blue tint. Wichita is wearing a white jersey with black numbers and blue trim. They are affiliated with the San Jose Sharks and San Jose Barracuda. Grizzlies are wearing a black jersey with white numbers and professional green trim. Grizzlies are affiliated with the Colorado Avalanche and the Colorado Eagles. It's the Grizzlies' 8th season as an affiliate with the Avalanche. Grizzlies have 4 players under AHL contracts with the Colorado Eagles, and that includes Evan Friesen, Neil Shea, Rylan Kovacevic, and Garrett Pike. They have 1 player with an NHL contract with the Colorado Avalanche, and that's Sage Weinstein, and 3 players with AHL contracts with the Tucson Roadrunners, Dylan Wells, along with Jack Ricketts and Maxime Barbashev. Barbashev, who's yet to play in a game with the Grizzlies this season. So it looks like both teams are standing at their respective blue lines. It looks like we got a good night for hockey. It's a little bit late in coming, as they're going to start at about 6:15, which originally was a 6 o'clock start. So when we come back, we'll have face-off on the other side. You've been tuned into the pregame report on the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
From commercial to recreational truck accessories, Mountain Land Truck Outfitters has got what you need. Flatbeds, spray and bed liners, lifts and leveling kits, wheels and tires. Mountain Land Truck Outfitters proudly uses a brand you know and trust. And with our experienced, knowledgeable, and friendly staff, your visit here will be informative and enjoyable. Stop into our convenient location in Provo at 265 South 100 West or call 801-225-4637 to get a quote for your fleet or individual truck. Mountain Land.
Since 1939, America First has helped people start businesses, buy homes and cars, and achieve their financial goals. Today, our top priority is still the financial success of you and your family, which is why we're giving new members $100 when they sign up for a basic savings and checking account, and another $100 when they upgrade to premium checking and enroll in and use direct deposit. So head to AmericaFirst.com today and join the credit union that always puts its members first.
Les Schwab changed the tire game more than 70 years ago. Today, we still believe that you should get more from less. Like exclusive tires we design ourselves means more tires made for the roads that you drive, less compromise, and we include America's best tire warranty in every tire we sell. It's more unbeatable warranty, less charging you extra. And our 60-day satisfaction guarantee means you'll be way more satisfied and way less stressed. For all this and more, you get more from less.
Every new day is a chance to be kinder to your body and your mind. U of U Health is here to help you build strength and confidence every day. Let us help you be a better you. U of U Health, official health partner for the Utah Jazz, Utah Hockey Club, Utes Athletics, and the Utah Grizzlies. Take the first step today at uofuhealth.org.
When you pay with the Nitro card at Maverick, you always save 10 cents or more on fuel every gallon, every day. And you could save a whole lot more thanks to Nitro Best Price. Pick up a Nitro card and upgrade your Adventure Club account today.
It's a great night for hockey as two big standings points are on the line as the Utah Grizzlies take on the Wichita Thunder in the last of a two-game series. Grizzlies are in the second game of a back-to-back as Wichita defeated Utah 6-4 last night. Thunder are playing for their third straight day as Wednesday they lost 6-4 to the Allen Americans, and it was the same score just in reverse with Wichita defeating Utah 6-4. Watch out for Neil Shea's got a goal in 3 straight games and a point in 4 straight. Shea's been outstanding for the Grizzlies since he joined the club early in the 2024-25 season. Shea, 2 years ago with the Newfoundland Growlers, had 18 goals and 19 assists in 64 games. He played his college hockey at Northeastern and Sacred Heart University. The captains, Peter Bates of Wichita and Tyler Gratton for the Grizzlies with the ceremonial puck drop. Referee tonight is Rocco Stakoviak. He was a referee in all 3 games last week when the Grizzlies took on the Jacksonville Icemen. The linesmen are Carl von Hassel and Ryan Bray. Von Hassel and Bray are the linesmen. Grizzlies are in a black jersey with white numbers and professional green trim, and they will start out with Evan Friesen, Danny Genev, and Stepan Timofeyev, and a defensive pairing of Noah Gansky and Luke Salem. We'll see if the Grizzlies can get off to a fast start. We mentioned it in the pregame report. Wichita is outscoring opponents 11-5 in the first periods. Grizzlies have been outscored 11-8. And last night, it was Wichita that got off to a 3-0 lead early in the contest. So the Grizzlies are looking to get off to a bit of a quicker start as both teams just skating around and waiting for time to elapse as it's 6:16. That's the time of day up and down the Wasatch Front as we're just waiting for the referee, Rocco Stakoviak, and there's only one referee tonight. Waiting for both teams. They're just kind of lingering around. Something must be going on. They must be having a tough time getting the mat as they had a lot of people singing the national anthem. They must be having a tough time getting the mat off the ice. For the Grizzlies, they don't play until next Friday where they take on the Idaho Steelheads, and that's going to be the Grizzlies' next home game. Make sure to get your tickets at UtahGrizzlies.com or go to the Maverick Center box office. We want to see a big crowd next Friday for Pucks and Pups. As now we're starting to get a little bit more of a delay. Now Rocco Stakoviak's going to skate somewhere off the screen to the right of what we see on the Flow Sports feed. As looks like there's something that's delaying the start of this game. So the Grizzlies are just kind of dancing around. Now players from both teams are skating on the ice and just trying to find a way to stay loose. As there's something there that is delaying the inevitable puck drop. And now a few players from the Grizzlies bench have decided to come off and are stretching around. Unfortunately, since the camera is fixated on neutral ice, we're not entirely sure what's delaying the start of this game. Second of 8 regular season meetings between the Grizzlies and Thunder, as these teams will meet 3 times at Maverick Center, and after today, 3 more times over at INTRUST Bank Arena. Now just about everybody on the Grizzlies bench is now on the ice, and we're still trying to figure out why we have not seen some hockey. I don't know if they had a tough time getting the mat off the ice or whatever the case may be, but now players from both teams are just kind of skating around, and looks like there's a little bit of a delay at the start. We'd love for the camera operator to just pan a little bit right, because it looks like that's what's causing this thing to delay. And now a couple players from Wichita is going to talk to Rocco Stakoviak and figure out what's going on. We do know that it looks like it's on the right side of the ice as we see it. Grizzlies in the first period will be skating from right to left as we try to see the game on Flow Sports. In your mind's eye will see it on YouTube. Wichita will skate from left to right. So it looks like now Rocco Stakoviak starting to get a little bit anxious and ready to go as both teams continue to stretch it out. Special teams could play a factor tonight. They certainly did last night. Grizzlies had 3 minutes and 38 seconds worth of a power play late in the third period, but just couldn't find a way to get the tying goal as the game was 5-4 at that time. Now it looks like we're about ready for live action. Gansky and Salem are the starting defensive pairing as Evan Friesen will take the draw against Ryan Finnegan. Finnegan, a native of Kansas. As puck is dropped and we're underway. Grizzlies in the black jerseys get it as Luke Salem will spin it along the near wing boards to somebody off the screen at neutral ice. And it goes deep into the Wichita zone as TJ Lloyd make that Proctor gets bounced along the boards as the glass goes swaying back and forth behind Matt Davis's net. Back at neutral ice, Grizzlies have it as Genev one hands it ahead to Friesen. Friesen over the offensive line. Backhand shot, glove saved by Davis. And he holds on as we get our first whistle 26 seconds in. Davis catches with his right, and his stick side is his left. That was a strong forward line for the Grizzlies that got the start. Friesen, Timofeyev, and Genev, all three of those guys had 2 points last night, and all three of them were a +1. So Grizzlies will have an offensive zone draw. It's the first shift of the game for Reed Lebster, Luke Manning, and Tyler Gratton. Manning will take the face-off, and the defensive pairing is Garrett Pike and Christian Felton. Just getting underway. Still early on over in Wichita, so grab some chips and dip in a beverage of your choice and enjoy part of Friday with us. Puck goes up top as the Thunder win the face-off but couldn't clear it out. Lebster will bounce it off the boards for Gratton. He's on the right side. Gratton skates towards the right point. Spins it back to the spot he vacated. As Manny gets the puck, he's being held up by number 25, Jack Barr. Barr is 6'2", 209 pounds. Barr gives Manning a rough ride as Lebster to the right side fires towards the net. And saved by Davis as it kicks back towards the right corner. Manning trying to break free. He feeds up top of the Thunder, take it away. Wichita crosses center ice, and backhanding in is Mikhail Stanel, number 22, native of the Czech Republic. Stanel so far this season has 4 goals and 3 assists in 8 games. Grizzlies drive it in as Wichita throws it back towards Jake Dickman. Dickman's in his 7th season with the Thunder. Kobe Enns gets the puck, and he'll throw it back towards, I believe, Aiden Hansen-Buchanan. That's the defensive pairing. Grizzlies are going with 7 defensemen tonight. Utah will move it ahead. Does John Gillette, number 24. Grizzlies stop on a dime. Gillette and Griffin Ness are part of the 4th forward line for John Buchanan's crew. They're going to be having somebody rotate in and out right now. Genev's on the ice with those two as Wichita with a right wing feed that goes off the stick of number 16, Kyle Krankovic. He's a speedy forward, 5'7" and 170 pounds. Back behind the net, Wichita tries to feed it out in front. Instead, it goes up top. Nico Somerville slides it towards his right. Tyrone Bronte, he'll take a shot that's blocked as Grizzlies re-enter the zone. Utah skates towards Neil Shea, right side, backhand shot saved by Davis. Shea gets the rebound, skates back towards the left wing. Down the left circle, take a lefty shot. Glove saved by Davis. And he holds on. Grizzlies have been active here so far. Utah will have an offensive zone draw as they're 17:53. That's the time remaining in this first period. Who's your pick to click? Who's going to have a big game for the Grizzlies? I'm going with Garrett Pike. Salem's on the ice with Noah Gansky. As Jack Ricketts talks things over, he scored a second period goal for Utah last night. He's got a goal in 4 of his last 8 games and a point in 5 of his last 8. Grizzlies win the draw. Salem fires towards the net. It goes wide. Salem leads all Utah defensemen in shots on goal this season as the Thunder will bank it off the near wing boards. As they get it towards Kyle Jeffers, number 18. He scored the first goal of yesterday's game. Salem gets pushed. Ricketts chases after it, but coming up with it is the Lloydminster products, Kirby Proctor and TJ Lloyd. Grizzlies back over the offensive line. They'll slide it to the left corner as Wichita will tap it off of Salem's glove. He's able to keep it in the left point. Salem reverses the puck back towards the right corner as Ty Voigt gets there about the same time as TJ Lloyd. Lloyd is 5'8", 180 pounds. It's about what Voigt is, as the Thunder will saucer airborne as it goes deep into the Grizzlies zone and all the way down for an icing. Good job by Noah Gansky to get back defensively as the Thunder were looking for a cross-country flight that just was misconnected as they were looking for Spencer Blackwell deep in the Grizzlies zone. So Grizzlies have Sage Weinstein out there for his first shift of the game. Weinstein, 6 feet, 187 pounds. Played in the WHL the last 5 seasons. He's paired up now with Garrett Pike. Friesen takes a draw as we play 3 minutes. Still no score. Grizzlies do have a shot advantage. Weinstein left shot side. His shot goes wide. Grizzlies hacking away. Timofeyev will brush it towards the left wing boards. Loose puck. Weinstein gets there before Jeffers as Weinstein around the net. Curls it out in front. Friesen lefty shot. Saved by Davis. Boy, great pass by Weinstein. He found Friesen out in front. Friesen shoveled it towards the net, but Matt Davis makes a glove save. He holds on with 16:51 left in the first. A perfect pass by Weinstein, and it's interesting, with Davis, he catches with his right and looks like he's got a pretty good glove. Davis had 2 outstanding seasons at the University of Denver. Grizzlies have had some DU products in years past with Brett Stapley and Kyle Mayhew, just to name a couple. As the Thunder win the draw, Denver is one of the elite college programs. You normally see them either in the Frozen Four or pretty close to it. Icing is on Wichita. 16:43 is left in the first period, so we've seen quite a few whistles, and the Grizzlies have Wichita on their heels right now as the Grizzlies have been the aggressor early on. We certainly talked about it. We talked about it a couple times during the pregame report. Wichita has been a strong first-period club, and the Grizzlies at times have been pretty good starting things off, but got off to a rough start last night and had to play catch-up. Grizzlies have put together some good shifts here early on. Utah gets the puck towards the left corner as Janea battles with a Thunder skater. Puck slides towards center ice. Timofeyev gets there about the same time as Ryan Finnegan. Now the puck goes deeper into the Grizzlies zone as Colby Enns gets double-teamed. Timofeyev surveys. 2-on-2 battles. The puck kicks back towards the right corner. Thunder slide it up top. As Barr gets it across to Beck. Noah Beck will bounce one back towards the right corner. Thunder skate from left to right here in the period. As Wichita tries to lunge the puck towards the right corner. Taken away is Aiden Hansen-Bukata. He gets belted to the glass. Now to the middle of the ice. Lefty shot saved by Kyle Kaiser. Kaiser makes what I believe is his first save as a Grizzly. He's got blue pants. The former Colorado Eagle. He played in 3 games with Colorado and had a pretty impressive .936 save percentage. We played 4 minutes, still no score. Grizzlies will sky it out to center ice. Chasing after it's John Gillette. Make that Genev. Genev right side. He'll take a lefty shot. Didn't get much on it as he had a Thunder player all over him. Luke Manning gets spun around. Thunder with a rink-wide feed that's picked off at center ice. Grizzlies get it to Manning. Gets around one skater. Manning to the left circle. Take a lefty shot. Saved by Davis. Rebound. Second shot goes just wide by Gratton. Boy, Luke Manning still looking for his first goal of the season. He's played some good two-way hockey so far this year. Thunder enter from the left side. Lefty shot. And that one goes over Kaiser's glove. Stays in play to the right wing as Dickman gets hit to the boards by Gratton. Peter Bates gets around Garrett Pike as Bates, last night's #1 star, reverses the puck back to Dickman behind Utah's net, but Manning cuts it off. Manning along the far side will loft it ahead. Puck hippity hops into the Wichita zone. Thunder run it down as Wichita will tattoo it off the near wing wall. Goes all the way deep into Kaiser as he'll play it behind his net. Felton will brush it across. The Grizzlies dance around. Luke Salem with a nice move getting around Peter Bates. He'll get to Griffin Ness, who curls it to the middle of the ice. Grizzlies enter 3-on-3 as Lebster centering pass shot goes just wide as Lebster found a cutting Gratton out in front. Gratton just didn't get enough of it as he tried to go stick side on Davis. TJ Lloyd along the near side throws it up but not out as Friesen gets pushed to the boards by Lloyd, gets divorced from the puck. Peter Bates takes it over. Bates throws it back towards Lloyd in the left side. Chasing after him is Friesen as the Grizzlies' John Gillette throws it back towards the right corner. Utah's in the offensive zone as Ness will fire it off the Wichita backboard. Behind the net, John Gillette reverses his field towards the right side. Gillette holds on to the puck, tried a tough angled shot that was blocked by Lloyd. As Gillette dances around, he's on the right side, fires it off the Wichita player that was about 10 feet in front of Davis. Thunder clear it out to the Utah line where it's taken back by Noah Gansky. Gansky skates around his own net and around Kyle Krenkovic. Gansky's got good speed, crosses center ice, steps over the offensive line, 1-on-5. He'll take a righty shot that goes wide as Davis crouched down in the butterfly position as the Grizzlies have it back in their own zone. We played 6.5 minutes, still no score. Grizzlies have a shot advantage. Utah back good to the left side as Gratton gets pushed to the boards. Shea looking nearby as well as Ty Voigt and Aiden Hansen-Bukata. As the Thunder will sky it out to center ice. Puck bounces at neutral ice and slides into the Grizzlies zone. Enns runs down and gets the loose puck as Enns gets back checked at the Utah line. Now nudge it ahead to center ice. Grizzlies cross the offensive blue as Shea gets it towards Ricketts. Jack Ricketts dances around and gets to Voigt behind Wichita's net. Taken away on the back check is Donovan Huell. Huell's got some time in the AHL with the San Jose Barracuda. As the Thunder dump it into the right corner, Huell chases after it. Getting there a stride ahead of him is Ricketts. Taken away is Donovan Huell's got an AHL contract with San Jose. Feeds up top. Somerville, lefty shot saved by Kaiser. He'll bounce one off a Thunder skater towards the near wing wall. Wichita gets it up top. Kyle Masters will whip it around the boards as Ty Voigt collides with the Thunder skater. Puck still alive in the Grizzlies zone as Ricketts gets pushed to the boards by number 24, and that is Nick Nardicia, 5'10", 174 pounds out of Michigan. as a 3-on-3 scrums over in the far wing wall. As we played 7.5 minutes, still no score. Grizzlies move back to center ice. Wichita will skate back into their own end and set up shop. Thunder with a north-south pass. It glanced off the stick. It goes into the right corner of the Grizzlies zone. Utah dancing around. 3-on-3 scrum as Utah will pitch it around the net. Weinstein throws it towards the left corner. Ends chases after it. Now Wichita left circle. Righty shots blocked away as they didn't have much time and space. Masters to the right side. He'll fire it off the Utah end glass. Now centering pass. Righty shot. Saved by Kaiser. And he holds on as the Thunder got a centering pass out in front. Kaiser made the stop. And that stops play. 12:01's the time remaining in the first period. Still no score. Grizzlies do have a shot advantage. When we come back in 1 minute, we'll have a face-off in the Grizzlies zone. This is the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
We're 20, and yeah, we're celebrating big. Because in 20 years, we didn't just make the gear. We made hockey cooler. They said we were too loud, too flashy, too different. They told us to tone it down. The Warriors don't tone it down. We go full throttle. And this is just the start. 20 years in and we're just getting warmed up. We're still the brand that makes the gear you can win in, chirping, and partying. And if you thought we were bold before, just wait. The next 20 years start now.
Twelve minutes, 1 second left in the first period. Melissa says she's going with Reed Lepster as her pick to click as the Grizzlies win the draw. As someone nudging out towards center ice. Grizzlies skate from right to left here in the first period. Utah's outshot Wichita 7-3. Thunder get it in deep as Kyle Kaiser in his Grizzlies debut will drop it back off. Kaiser's got plenty of experience with the AHL's Providence Bruins. Rink wide feed angle left is behind Friesen. And icing's going to be on Utah. So the draw is going to come back towards Kyle Kaiser, who is 6'2" and 179 pounds. Kaiser has a winning record in the AHL. In fact, he's got a record of 31, 28, and 19. He has a .903 save percentage in 76 career AHL games. Last season, he was in the KHL and had an .896 save percentage. Draws in the right wing. Timofeyev will take it, and he wins it as the Grizzlies will launch it to neutral ice, and collecting it is Timofeyev, but he gets it taken away by Ryan Finnegan. Finnegan enters from the left side. He gets a good shoulder check from Salem as Gansky back in the near goal line of the Grizzlies zone as he'll drag the puck out to neutral ice. Now push it to his right for Genev, back towards Gansky. Gansky curls it out in front, but the pass was behind a Grizzly. Thunder come back the other way. So they'll bounce one towards Kaiser. Running after it is Salem. As he'll skate behind Utah's net. He avoids a check of Declan Smith. Now Salem goes down as he gets nudged to the ice. Taking the puck is Danny Genev in the right corner. Genev, the first-year pro out of Penn State, accelerates to neutral ice. As he crosses the center red line, dangles back and forth, nudges to his right for Pike. Thunder clear it back to center ice. As the Thunder now take control, crossing center ice is Bates before he loses the puck on a check by Luke Manning. As the puck skies towards the far wing wall of the Grizzlies zone, Utah will skate around Kaiser's net. Utah spreads the ice as Timofeyev gets the Pike. Now back towards Timofeyev. A empty stick centering pass. Shot. Saved by Kaiser. Rebound. Shot. Kaiser dives in the crease. And the Thunder fans think they have scored, but Kaiser covers up. Boy, a lot of action there. Thunder on a couple of occasions have got a centering pass to the front of the net as Kaiser gets back to his feet. Good job by the Grizzlies defensive unit. Pike, Manning, Felton over there. A centering pass out there, and it looked like Stenell didn't get much on it, and then Bates on a drive-by tried to skate in and fire towards the net. Kaiser out there with Pike and Felton, and Kaiser was able to dive on the puck in the crease. So good job by Kyle Kaiser. I guess it's early to say, but we could say it's his best save as a Grizzly. 9:30 into his time with Utah. Peter Bates will take the draw for Wichita against, it looks like, Luke Manning. Manning's going to take a lot of the big face-offs for Utah this year. Grizzlies won the face-off, and Pike will sky the puck out to center ice. Grattan chases after it, but the Thunder will throw it back in. Kaiser at the far goal line will nudge it to the corner as Christian Felton gets pushed in the back. It's Felton's 10th game as a Grizzly and 30th overall as a pro as the Thunder roll it back to the right side. It bounced off of Jack Barr, sticking out to neutralize. Barr gets challenged by Gratton as the Thunder force it back in. Kaiser behind his net, throws it towards the left side. Bates trying to get to the middle of the ice. Grizzlies knifing out to center ice where the Thunder reset. Jack Barr back behind his own net. He's back in his own zone, not behind his own net, though, as the Thunder get it out to the right side, crossing center ice. Donovan Huell, who's a native of Montreal, he gets blasted the boards as Luke Manning takes the puck. He skates around along the Utah blue line, drops it back as the Grizzlies set up shop. Felton turns it over, gets it back, and he'll backhand it to Reed Lepster, left wing at center ice. Lepster dumps it into the corner. Manning chasing after it. Accepting the puck is Nico Somerville, who's looking for his first point of the season. Puck back to the right wing of the Thunder zone, and the Thunder moving out to center ice. It goes into the Grizzlies zone, no icing. Bucata runs it down. He'll tap it off the wall as the Grizzlies will skate angle left to neutral ice. Gillette gets cut off as one of the officials got in the way. Donovan Huell tried to get around Hanson Bucata. Bucata held him up along his shoulder for half a second. Ness gets it ahead as John Gillette over at center ice. He gets pushed by Kyle Masters, the Edmonton native, as the Thunder back deep in their own zone. As Somerville almost collided with a teammate over in the left corner of his own zone. Now Ness gets it left side. He'll take a righty shot, saved by Davis. He holds on with 8:49 as Wichita turned it over. Ness fired towards Davis, who made a routine save. Still scoreless. Grizzlies have a shot advantage. We're back in 1 minute on the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
Les Schwab changed the tire game more than 70 years ago. Today, we still believe you should get more from less. Like more hustle, less hassle. More of the best service around, less of the runaround. Because we include America's best tire warranty in every tire we sell. So you get more unbeatable warranty, less charging you extra. It's why we're more than proud to say, you get more from less.
Grizzlies will have an offensive zone draw after Griffin Ness fired a righty shot from the left wing. Grizzlies have outshot the Thunder 8-5. Neil Shea and Nevin Friesen lead Utah with 2 shots, 1 shot each for Enns, Manning, Lepster, and Danny Geniev. And oddly enough, they don't have Griffin Ness's shot listed on the box score as of yet. So it might be 9-5 in favor of the Grizzlies. Wichita will sell it angle left deep in the Grizzlies zone. Running after it is a Grizzly. Ty Voigt gathers it. Grizzlies are going with 7 defensemen, so it might be a different defensive pairing just about every shift. Grizzlies get to center ice, and they'll throw it in as the Thunder will backhand it off the glass. It goes to the right side deep in the Thunder zone as TJ Lloyd will nudge it ahead off the boards. As the Thunder, Kyle Jeffers with a rink-wide feed that bounces towards the crease, and it's covered up by Kaiser as we get a whistle with 8:15 left in the first. It looked like a Wichita player tried to jab at the puck. And with that, we get a little bit of extra spirit after the whistle as Gansky going after a Thunder skater. It was a loose puck, and Wichita was going after the puck. It looks like there's going to be some penalties on the play as Gansky was going after a Thunder skater. It was going after the loose puck as it was bouncing towards Kyle Kaiser. And we'll see. It looks like Gansky might be going to the box. We'll see if any Thunder players go to the box as well. Now it looks like it might be a Wichita power play as Gansky looked like he got a ride in on the Thunder skater, and I believe that was the one that chased after the loose puck as Kaiser was able to get there. And as a result, Wichita is going to get their first power play of the game. Thunder 18.9% on the power play this season. Grizzlies penalty kill is 26 for 30 with a clip of 86.7%. 8 minutes and 15 seconds are left in the first period. Noah Gansky gets 2 minutes for roughing. Time of penalty, 11:45 in. Manning will take the draw for Utah. This time it's won by the Grizzlies, and they'll sell it all the way towards Matt Davis. Davis will drop it behind his net. Noah Beck will take it. Beck is 6'3", 205 pounds. So far this season, he has 3 goals and 4 assists in 9 games. Out to center ice, Thunder enter as they'll bounce one towards Krankovic. He couldn't get it in the right circle as a 3-on-2 scrum of 3 Grizzlies in the area. Puck slides towards the left corner as the Thunder lose control of the puck. Felton will bounce it off the Thunder skater. 2-on-2 battle over in the left corner of the Grizzlies zone. Grizzlies skate from right to left during the period. The scrum continues. Wichita will push it back up top to the right point where it's kept in by Mikkel Stenell. Stenell will drive it towards his right to Bates. Now back to Stenell is on the left side over to Bates. Bates fakes a one-timer as he dances around in the right circle. Now he'll bounce the puck up top as Beck will shuffle towards his right, stop, and he gets it towards Bates. One-timer, and he didn't get much on it as Pike's in the area along with Felton. Felton and Dickman battle as Felton holding his ground. He's got the puck near his ankle. Bates gets the puck and he'll feed it up top. Beck over on the right side, dances back and forth. Now he gets towards Bates. Bates feeds it towards Krankovic. Centering pass shot as Kaiser takes a seat. Now Beck throws it towards the left side. Now back to Beck. One-timer save, rebound, shot, and looks like Kaiser made an unbelievable save. Well, he was on his backside and just denies Wichita as the puck goes out of play. Kaiser got knocked down. He was on his backside. Beck with a give and go. He got the puck towards the right side, and then it went towards Krankovic. And somehow Krankovic was denied as Kaiser was just on his sitting position, hoping that somehow Krankovic didn't roof it over him. So we're still scoreless with 6:58 left in the first. Thunder win the draws. They made a line change during the whistle. As Masters tries to force his way towards the right corner. A scrum ensues. Looks like we've been playing more rugby than hockey with all the scrums we've seen here early on. Webster looking nearby, as well as Colby Enns trying to jab at the puck. As Enns pushes a Wichita skater. Webster will nudge a Thunder skater as well. Now Webster in control of the puck, but he's being held up by 2 Thunder skaters. Now the Grizzlies pop free. Webster crosses center ice. He'll bounce one towards Gratton. 2-on-3. Gratton over the line. Righty backhand shot saved by Davis. He holds on, so the Grizzlies will have an offensive zone draw with 9 seconds left in the Wichita power play. Boy, Gratton on the backhand attempt was able to get plenty of steam, but Davis made a routine save in the butterfly position with 6:23 left in the first. So a lot of good spirited action here so far. Wichita's in their 3rd game in 3 days, and the Grizzlies are in the 2nd game of a back-to-back. Grizzlies won't play until next Friday, where they take on the Idaho Steelheads. Next weekend, the Grizzlies will have games in 3 straight days. They will be at home November 14th, and then they travel to Boise, play a game on November 15th at 7 o'clock, and then a very rare Sunday game in Boise that will be at 4:10. Draw one by the Thunder. They're in their own zone. 5 seconds left in the power play as Gansky's in there for a roughing minor. Donovan Huell will spin it along the boards. Kaiser lets it go. Gansky's out of the box, and he will join the play as the Thunder will tattoo it off the near wall. As Wichita skates towards the right corner, they try to get around Hanson Bukata, in particular Tyrone Bronte, a native of Melbourne, Australia. Don't see too many Australians in pro hockey, but Bronte's one of them. Shea tries to get it to Ricketts out in front. As his stick got lifted, Ricketts couldn't accept it as Ricketts tried to curl it back towards the left corner for Voigt, and it's picked off. TJ Lloyd gets around Hanson Bukata. He'll move it towards Huell. Huell on the right side loses the puck as the Grizzlies will move it back to center ice. Shea will drop it off to Voigt over to Ricketts' left side. Ricketts trying to center it back towards Voigt. Puck is kicked away by Bronte, the Australian. As Shea over in the area, he's in the right corner with Ricketts. Now the puck slides towards Voigt, who gets engulfed by Kirby Proctor. Puck slides towards the left corner. 2-on-1 battle with 2 Thunder skaters in the area. As Voigt joins the play, he gets the puck and beats up top to Pike. Pike with a lefty shot, and that one goes wide. Grizzlies get it at the right goal line. They skate around Davis's net. Grizzlies try to chip it out in front. It's kicked away by Wichita back along the near wing boards. As the Thunder will race across center ice, Donovan Huell with AHL time of San Jose. He'll whip it around the boards. Kaiser cuts it off behind his net. Less than 5 minutes left in the first period. Still no score. Timofeyev back behind Utah's net. As he'll direct traffic now, skate north-south. Timofeyev dangles back and forth, crosses center ice. He falls down near the center ice logo as the Thunder will loft it into Grizzlies ice. Taking the puck is Blackwell. He skates around one Grizzly but couldn't get around another as trying to keep it in, and doing so is Nick Nardicia. Now the Grizzlies take it away. Utah enters from the right wing, 3-on-3. Lefty shot saved by Davis and he holds on with 4:26 left in the first. Grizzlies will have an offensive zone draw when we come back. Last shot was taken by Evan Friesen, the former Wenatchee Wild skater. This is the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network. No score from INTRUST Bank Arena. Grizzlies have outshot the Thunder 10-8. Grizzlies are 1 for 1 on the penalty kill. Evan Friesen leads Utah with 3 shots on goal. More action in a moment.
Les Schwab changed the tire game more than 70 years ago. Today, we still believe that you should get more from less. Like exclusive tires we design ourselves means more tires made for the roads that you drive, less compromise. And we include America's best tire warranty in every tire we sell. It's more unbeatable warranty, less charging you extra. And our 60-day satisfaction guarantee means you'll be way more satisfied and way less stressed. For all this and more, you get more from less.
Well, the Grizzlies will have an offensive zone draws. There's 4:26. That's the time remaining in the first period. As the Grizzlies will have the forward line of Evan Friesen, Danny Genev, and Stepan Timofeyev. That three-man unit has certainly produced a lot for the Grizzlies over the last 3 games. Felton and Pike are the defensive pairing. Grizzlies with an offensive zone draw. Utah's off to a much better start tonight than they got in last night's game where Wichita had a 3-0 lead after the first period. Dickman gets as Wichita won the face-off. Dickman's pass goes incomplete towards Pike. Now Dickman gets it back, and he'll fire it in angle left as the puck goes towards the left corner. Mikhail Stenell tries to get around Felton. Felton holds his ground as the Grizzlies get it to Garrett Pike. Pike ahead to center ice as the Grizzlies enter. Utah dances back and forth to the middle of the ice to try to get towards Friesen. Friesen gets it off the boards. Friesen now on the right goal line. He'll feed it up top as Weinstein rolls it back around Utah towards the left goal line. Grizzlies, as Timofeyev tries to force it in and glanced it off the stick. Grizzlies get it back up top. Weinstein will race towards the right corner. As he stops, he gets belted behind Wichita's net as he then overskated the puck. And now it goes towards the left corner. Wichita gets it. They get around Timofeyev out towards center ice, but it's knifed away. Friesen will slide it towards his right. Genev in the left circle. He'll take a lefty shot. And that one is denied by Davis as it goes off the protective netting. Nico Somerville in the area as the Grizzlies will have an offensive zone draw with 3:25 left in the first. So Utah will switch things up. Reed Lepster's on the ice. Lepster and Neil Shea are tied for the club lead with 7 points each. Lepster's got 5 goals and 2 assists, and Shea has 4 goals and 3 assists. Aiden Hansen-Bukata and Tyler Gratton are tied for the club lead with 5 assists each, and Gratton's on the ice right now. Thunder skate around their own net after winning the face-off. Grizzlies have done a good job being disciplined and not taking penalties. As Grizzlies back in front of Kyle Kaiser making his Grizzlies debut. Aiden Hansen-Bukata will move it towards center ice as the Grizzlies try to bounce one in. Odd turnover. Wichita will skate along the left wing. Kyle Krenkovic centers it to Finnegan. Finnegan trying to get it back towards Krenkovic. Grizzlies anticipated it well. Right side, lefty shots blocked by Hansen-Bukata before it got to Kaiser. Grizzlies will tap it out to center ice. Jake Wallen in his 5th season with Wichita. He'll bounce one back in. Kaiser will drop it for Colby Enns. Enns will slide it to Hansen-Bukata as Bukata with the long-range feed. As it was north-south along the left wing, it goes wide of the mark, deep into the Thunder zone, but it got redirected to neutral ice, so no icing. As laid out to center ice, he couldn't get it. As Griffin Ness will globe it into the Thunder zone. Puck bounces and it's taken by Davis. Davis keeps the play alive as he tried to get towards Donovan Hewlett, who wasn't looking for the puck. It slides on to TJ Lloyd as the Thunder will tap it off a Grizzly stick. Hewlett gets it back. He's still in his own zone. He's got an A on his sweater. He'll push it out to center ice. Grizzlies for center ice will drive it back in from the left wing. Puck takes a ride along the boards. Grizzlies back along the right side, and the Grizzlies roller coaster it back the other way. Delayed offside, so Hugh will take it out to center ice. Gillette takes it away. Griffin Ness now has it down the middle of the ice, so they got a left righty shot. Saved by Davis. Boy, good play by John Gillette. He had the puck towards the line, got the puck, slid it across to the middle of the ice for Ness. Ness just skated down the middle. He had some action behind him. He fired a righty shot. Davis made the stop. And Matt Davis somehow didn't allow a rebound. And then after the whistle, Kirby Proctor tried to bully John Gillette and tell him not to get in front, not to get next to my goaltender. That's probably the exact words that Kirby Proctor said. So Grizzlies will have an offensive zone draw on the right side. We'll see if either team could break through on the score sheet. As Ricketts will take the draw. He's out there with Voigt and Shea. Linesman drops the puck and then says, my bad, we'll do it over again. Ricketts is kicked out of the face-off circle, and Nil Shea will take the draw. Shea crouches down. He's got Tyler Gratton to his right. Up top is Noah Gansky and Luke Salem. Gansky and Salem have seen plenty of ice time here in the first period. And now the clock says 15 minutes and 40 seconds. They got to adjust the clock. Now they got 5 minutes and 40 seconds, and I think there might be a minute 40 left in the first period. So they're going to adjust the clock over at INTRUST Bank Arena. And now everybody's just looking towards the scores table. Now they've got to reset to 15 minutes and 40 seconds. So they're going to have to adjust things a little bit. I don't think either team wants to play 74 minutes worth of hockey tonight. Boy, Grizzlies got off to a pretty fast start. They're going up against a pretty tough goaltender in Matt Davis. If you take any stock into what happens at the college level, Davis is going to be a pretty good one. In 40 games at the University of Denver last season, he had a record of 29, 10, and 1 with a 2.07 goals against average and 924 save percentage. If you can start at the University of Denver, you're probably a pretty good one. So that's one of the elite programs in college hockey. So they've adjusted the clock. A minute 54 is left in the first period. And the Thunder win the draw in their own zone. They skate from left to right here in the period, wearing a mostly white jersey with black numbers and a little bit of blue mixed in. As Ricketts gets pushed out to neutralize, he gets some good lumber onto the back of number 24, Nick Nardicia, as the Thunder will pitch it ahead. Referee Rocco Stakoviak jumps out of the way. Ricketts will drop it for Voigt. Voigt's in the left wing. He'll bounce one to Shea behind the net. Shea will sweep it along the boards towards Gansky. Gansky cycles it back to Shea. Shea forces one up out in front, and it goes up top to the left side for Salem. Salem's cross-ice pass to Shea, glances off the stick, and it flies out of play. As there's a minute 20 left in the first, draw is going to stay in the Wichita zone. Don't know what the promotion is tonight over in Wichita, but we can say that it looks like they've got a pretty good crowd, as it seems like just about all the seats are filled, at least in the spot that we can see on Flow Sports. So it looks like the lower level, they've done a pretty good job. Last night, they announced a crowd of about 1,800. Draw on the right wing is won by the Grizzlies. Now right side, lefty shot, kick save by Davis off his right pad. Grizzlies, Geneva will throw it towards the left corner. Wichita sails it out of play. Is it going to be delay of game? Grizzlies won, and it looks like it's going to be a power play for Utah. A Wichita player gave a fan a souvenir from his own zone as it just sailed over the glass and out of play. So it looks like Utah is going to get a power play with a minute 9 seconds left in the first period. Well, he gained the puck as looked like Jack Barr tried to just bounce it off the glass, instead sailed it out of play. So Barr gets 2 minutes for delay of game. It's his second minor penalty of the season. So Grizzlies power play goes to work. They're at 14.7% on the season. Gratton will take the face-off. He's got Lepster to his right and Shea to his left. Up top is Pike and Voigt. Grizzlies win the draw as Shea rolls up to Gratton. Gratton behind Wichita's net. Thunder will tap it off the glass and it goes all the way into the Grizzlies zone. Garrett Pike will hustle after it. A loose puck. Wichita gets there before Pike. As now back towards the right corner, Pike delivers a push on a Thunder skater. 3 Grizzlies surrounding 1 Wichita player. As Voigt gets the puck, he'll bounce one towards Shea. 42 seconds left in the period. If the Grizzlies don't score to end the first period, they will start the second period on the power play. Lepster and Gratton battle with 2 Thunder skaters, including number 3, Kirby Proctor. Puck goes up top. Voigt dances around. I'll get back to Gratton, but Gratton couldn't handle it in the right corner. Wichita skates around Davis's net as Gratton takes it away from Proctor. He gets up top to Pike, across to Voigt. 15 seconds left in the period. Voigt throws to the middle of the ice. The only guy there was a Thunder skater, and Wichita will sail it all the way deep towards Kyle Kaiser. Kaiser whips it along the near wing boards. Thunder get it back to the right side. Heel toe drag, righty shot, and he swings and misses. And that will do it for 20 minutes over at INTRUST Bank Arena, as the Grizzlies will be on the power play for the first 51 seconds of the second period. Yes, Huell had a pretty good look, and then Ness knocked down Huell as Huell swung and missed on the attempt late in the first period. Both teams will head to the dressing room. Grizzlies, if memory serves, had a bit of a slight shot advantage. We'll go over the stats on the other side as both teams head to the locker room. The locker rooms are actually attached to the bench areas over at INTRUST Bank Arena. Well, it was a fun 20 minutes of play, but nothing has been decided as of yet, as we're scoreless, and that might be a victory for Utah. After all, Utah does have a scoring edge in both the second and third periods of games this season. Wichita's strongest period so far this year has been the first. They've outscored opponents 11-5, but in the second period has been reversed. Wichita has been outscored 11-5 in these second periods, whereas the Grizzlies in the second frame, they've outscored opponents 8-7. So a good 20 minutes of play for the Grizzlies. Neither team could find the back of the net, as both goaltenders look pretty sharp early on. We'll come back and talk some hockey on the other side and recap the first period. Once again, after one period of play, no score over INTRUST Bank Arena. This is the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
When you pay with the Nitro card at Maverick, you always save 10 cents or more on fuel every gallon, every day. And you could save a whole lot more thanks to Nitro Best Price. Pick up a Nitro card and upgrade your Adventure Club account today.
Tonight's game is brought to you by the ECHL, celebrating its 38th season of affordable family entertainment. The ECHL would like to thank everyone in attendance for your support of ECHL hockey. The ECHL would also like to recognize the following league sponsors: AMI Graphics, exclusive signage provider; Athletic Knit, official jersey supplier; Baron Rings, official championship ring supplier; BFL Canada Insurance and Sutton Special Risk, sponsors of the 2026 ECHL Hall of Fame induction ceremony; Dash, official mobile auction platform; The Fairley Group, official commercial insurance provider; Flow Sports, exclusive streaming provider; Hotel Planner, official hotel reservations partner; Howie's Hockey Tape, exclusive hockey tape and lace provider; In Glasgow, exclusive puck provider; Prolific One, exclusive secondary ticketing partner; and Warrior, exclusive on-ice equipment provider and title sponsor of the 2026 ECHL All-Star Classic. Catch all of the ECHL action live in high definition by logging on to flowhockey.tv.
From commercial to recreational truck accessories, Mountain Land Truck Outfitters has got what you need. Flatbeds, spray and bed liners, lifts and leveling kits, wheels and tires. Mountain Land Truck Outfitters proudly uses a brand you know and trust. And with our experienced, knowledgeable, and friendly staff, your visit here will be informative and enjoyable. Stop into our convenient location in Provo at 265 South 100 West or call 801-225-4637 to get a quote for your fleet or individual truck. Mountain Land Truck Outfitters.
Over at INTRUST Bank Arena, we're still looking for the game's first goal. Utah outshot Wichita 13-8. Both teams had one power play. Noah Gansky got a roughing minor 11:45 into the first period as puck bounced towards Kyle Kaiser. He covered up, and then a Wichita player took a jab towards Kaiser, and then Gansky went to defend his teammate and picked up a roughing minor. The Grizzlies did a pretty good job on the penalty kill. There was a sequence there where Wichita had some close calls. Kyle Krankovic over on the right side either had his shot go over the crossbar and out of play, or Kaiser made a great save. Couldn't really tell where the puck was. But the Grizzlies were able to kill off the penalty. Utah is now 27 for 31 so far this year on the PK, an average of just over 87%. And then late in the first period, Jack Barr gave a fan a souvenir from his own zone as he tried to tap the puck off the glass and instead sailed it out of play. Barr got 2 minutes for delay of game, 18:51 in. Grizzlies didn't really get too many chances there on that power play, although Wichita looked like they may have had a chance or two in their own right. Donovan Huell was looking for the toe drag on the right side, but then just swung and missed. And so Wichita had a chance there, but Huell just couldn't get anything on it. And that did it for the first period. Of the 13 shots Utah had in the first frame, Evan Friesen led the way with 3. Neil Shea had 2, and 8 other Grizzlies had 1 shot through 20 minutes. For Wichita, there are 8 shots. Spencer Blackwell and Noah Beck each had 2 shots, and then 4 other Wichita skaters with 1 shot, including Somerville, Bates, Kyle Krankovic, and Jay Dickman. Kyle Kaiser stopped all 8 shots he saw in the first period. It's his first period as a Grizzly, as he was assigned from the to the Grizzlies from the AHL's Colorado Eagles earlier this week. He had 3 pretty good games for Colorado, but when Trent Miner got sent from the Avalanche to the Eagles, when Mackenzie Blackwood got healthy, Blackwood joined the Avalanche. Miner came down to Colorado, and it looks like the Eagles have 3 pretty good goaltenders, and Kaiser, instead of him just sitting on the bench in Colorado as Miner and the other guy plays, Kaiser comes down here and gets some playing time, and he's looked sharp for the Grizzlies here so far. Might be tough to score against Matt Davis. He's off to a good start to his rookie season. Davis, who mentioned last year, was outstanding at the University of Denver. Davis stopped all 13 shots, and one of the things that was noticeable about both goaltenders is we didn't really see many rebounds on either side. Not many second chances, if any, that either team had in that first period. So goaltending and defense seemed to rule the day, and we're scoreless after 1 period. We're kind of thinking about last night's game being a little bit more of the low-scoring variety, and it turned out to be a 6-4 final. Today, we might get our lower-scoring game. And with Wichita, remember, 3rd game in 3 days for them, so fatigue might play a little bit of a factor as this game progresses. So for the Grizzlies, if they can find a way to get that first goal and play with the lead, that might be all she wrote, especially with Kaiser, who looks like he's been pretty sharp through 1 period. So we'll see what happens in the second frame. Remember, the Grizzlies will be on the power play for the first 51 seconds of the second period. When we come back, we'll go over some league scores. We're scoreless after 1 period on the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
Since 1939, America First has helped people start businesses, buy homes and cars, and achieve their financial goals. Today, our top priority is still the financial success of you and your family, which is why we're giving new members $100 when they sign up for a basic savings and checking account, and another $100 when they upgrade to premium checking and enroll in and use direct deposit. So head to americafirst.com today and join the credit union that always puts its members first.
Les Schwab changed the tire game more than 70 years ago. Today, we still believe that you should get more from less. Like exclusive tires we design ourselves means more tires made for the roads that you drive, less compromise, and we include America's best tire warranty in every tire we sell. It's more unbeatable warranty, less charging you extra. And our 60-day satisfaction guarantee means you'll be way more satisfied and way less stressed. For all this and more, you get more from less.
Busy night of action in the league. Let's go over the Mountain Division scores first. Early second period, Idaho leads Kansas City 1-0 as Caleb Pearson scored for Idaho exactly 9 minutes into the contest. Early second period, Tulsa has a 2-1 lead over Allen, as Tulsa's gotten goals from 2 players that are making their season debut that haven't played for Tulsa in years past. Earlier this week, the Oilers signed Dylan Fitz. And Fitz is in the Tulsa lineup. I believe he's making his Oilers debut. He's wearing number 37 for Tulsa. I do know he recently wore number 13 for the Grizzlies. And so Dylan Fitz making his Tulsa debut, and he's in the lineup. He doesn't have any stats so far through just over a period of play. Interestingly enough, the Grizzlies will be at BOK Center to take on Tulsa a couple weeks from now. It's a 2-game set over at BOK Center on November 21st and 22nd. And we're taking donations to try to get on that road trip because, as we all know, the Tulsa camera operators are about the worst we've ever seen. So Tulsa leads Allen 2-1. That game is in the early stages of the second period, and former Grizzly Dylan Fitz is on the ice for the Oilers. Just getting underway, Tahoe's taking on Rapid City. Tahoe's 6-3 on the year. Rapid City is 3-4-1. Other action in the league, early third period. Wheeling and Greensboro are tied at 1. At Fishers, Indiana, hometown of Mike Folta, the Indy Fuel lead 5-0 as the Fuel have goals from 5 different players. Atlanta leads Jacksonville 3-2. That game is early in the third period. Actually, Atlanta's now scored a goal. Atlanta 4, Jacksonville 2. And the Gladiators are 6-1 in the Guy Carenza era. Unfortunately, guys got to be going a little bit blind as Jacksonville failed to give him game notes. Don't worry, Guy. I didn't get any game notes from Jacksonville in 3 games last week, so Guy doesn't know a whole lot about the Jacksonville roster, but Atlanta leads 4-2 as they just got a goal from Isaac Walter. Walter, remember, had 2 goals on October 19th against the Grizzlies. Kalamazoo leads 5-0 at home against the Toledo Walleye, as the K-Wings have goals from 5 different players. Jeff Carr's Norfolk Admirals have a 3-1 lead over Adirondack. Osmondson has 2 goals for Norfolk. Maine has a 2-0 lead early in the third period over Worcester. Former Kansas City star Max Andreoff has one of the main goals. Halfway through the second period, Florida leads Fort Wayne 2-1. Late second period, Cincinnati leads Iowa 5-2. So that's the action across the league. When we come back, we'll go over the scores in the National Hockey League. This is the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
Every new day is a chance to be kinder to your body and your mind. U of U Health is here to help you build strength and confidence every day. Let us help you be a better you. U of U Health, official health partner for the Utah Jazz, Utah Hockey Club, Utes Athletics, and the Utah Grizzlies. Take the first step today at uofuhealth.org.
We're 20, and yeah, we're celebrating big. Because in 20 years, we didn't just make the gear. We made hockey cooler. They said we were too loud, too flashy, too different. They told us to tone it down. The Warriors don't tone it down. We go full throttle. And this is just the start. 20 years in and we're just getting warmed up. We're still the brand that makes the gear you can win in, chirping, partying. And if you thought we were bold before, just wait. The next 20 years start now.
4 games in the National Hockey League tonight. After 2 periods, the Rangers lead the Red Wings 2-1. Rangers have struggled to score goals as of late, but they've scored 2 goals in 2 periods. They lead the Red Wings 2-1. Early third period, Wild lead the Islanders 4-2. Shots are pretty even in that game. Brock Faber is one of the goal scorers for the Minnesota Wild. It's a 4-2 game. Wild in front of the Islanders. Getting underway in a couple minutes, the Blackhawks are at the Flames. Chicago is 6-5-3 on the year, and Calgary is 4-9-2. And at 8 o'clock, the 9-4 Winnipeg Jets take on the 5-6-3 San Jose Sharks. So that's the action in the National Hockey League. Tomorrow night at 8 o'clock, the Grizzlies NHL affiliate, the Colorado Avalanche, they have a record of 8-1-5. They will take on the 6-5-4 Edmonton Oilers. And at 5 o'clock tomorrow, the Utah Mammoth will be in action as they take on the Montreal Canadiens. Mammoth are 9-5 this season. Nick Schmaltz leads Utah with 8 goals. He also leads Utah with 10 assists. Karel Vejmelka's got 7 of the 9 victories for Utah in net. Montreal's off to a good start this year. They are 9-3-2. Cole Caulfield has 10 goals this season. Nick Suzuki leads Montreal with 16 assists. So that should be a fun one tomorrow. Mammoth take on the Canadiens, and I'm certainly looking forward to seeing the Avalanche take on Edmonton. That will be an 8 o'clock start. So a lot of action in the National Hockey League tomorrow, just 4 games this evening. And when we come back, we will have second period action. Remember, Utah will be on the power play for the first 51 seconds of the second period. And it was an early second period power play that jump-started things for the Grizzlies. Remember, yesterday, it was Wichita that had a 3-0 lead after 1 period. And the Grizzlies, they had a 5-on-3 situation for a brief moment. And then one guy came out of the penalty box for Wichita, and it was a 5-on-4 goal that was scored by Neil Shea a minute 6 in. And that jump-started the comeback bid for the Grizzlies. Shea ended up starting a stretch where the Grizzlies scored 3 goals in 3 minutes and 59 seconds to turn a 3-0 deficit into a 3-3 tie. In the first period tonight, Utah outshot Wichita 13-8. And we'll have second period action on the other side. You've been tuned into the Intermission Report on the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
Les Schwab changed the tire game more than 70 years ago. Today, we still believe you should get more from less. Like more hustle, less hassle. More of the best service around, less of the runaround. Because we include America's best tire warranty in every tire we sell. So you get more unbeatable warranty, less charging you extra. It's why we're more than proud to say, you get more from less.
Maverick's new bean-to-cup machines always deliver a freshly ground cup of coffee on demand, so you can enjoy any of our premium roasts at their best, day or night, hot or iced. Enjoy a fresh cup today.
We're about set for second period action, and we'll get underway in about 2 minutes. Don't forget the next Grizzlies game will be next Friday. That's right, Utah will have just about a week off between games. They take on the Idaho Steelheads, but it will be a busy weekend next weekend. This Friday night, the 14th, it will be Pucks and Pups. Make sure to bring your dogs to the game and sit in a special section. You do have to pay for your dog to see the action, but it should be a ton of fun. And then the Grizzlies will head to Boise for the final time ever in the regular season. That's going to be a 2-game set, Saturday, November 15th at 7 o'clock, and then a rare Sunday game. In fact, it's the first time I can remember the Grizzlies playing a Sunday game in Boise. At least in the last decade. It certainly is a rarity, but the Grizzlies will play on a Sunday afternoon in Boise, November 16th, and that will be a 4 o'clock start. Well, both teams are on the ice, skating and out, stretching. Grizzlies will start out on the power play. And as we mentioned yesterday, just a few minutes ago, Grizzlies started their comeback bid with a successful power play. We'll see what happens here to start the second period. So we're still looking for the game's first goal. There are a lot of standouts for the Grizzlies in the first period, and I thought the defensive pairing of Noah Gansky and Luke Salem, they played great. It seemed like they had a ton of ice time in the first period. Christian Felton and Garrett Pike did some good things. And really, if you're thinking about getting good scoring chances, Grizzlies got that once again from that forward line of Timofeyev, Friesen, and Genev. That's just a hard-working forward line. It's the third forward line on John Buchanan's lineup sheet tonight. And obviously with the third and fourth forward lines, you want to have a hard-working blue-collar bunch, and the Grizzlies certainly have that. I thought John Gillette and Griffin Ness certainly played well in the first period. They got some good chances, and we'll see what the Grizzlies do here in the third period. Neil Shea will be on the ice. You got to watch out for him as the finisher on power play situations. Shea has a goal in 3 straight games and a point in 4 straight. As the Grizzlies here to start the second period, will skate from left to right. As we see the game on Flow Sports, your mind's eye see it on YouTube, and make sure to bear with me a little bit as I'm at the mercy of the one camera feed that we're given. Shea, Gratton, and Lepster on the ice along with Pike, and I believe off the screen it's Ty Voigt. Gratton takes the draw against Bates, and it's won by Utah. Pike gets the puck. He's quarterbacking this power play unit. Pike down the middle of the ice, gets new, tries to slide it back to Voigt. Ty Voigt fakes to his left, now skates down the middle of the ice, steps over the offensive line, veers off to the left. He'll drop it for Shea. Shea pitches it back to the left point for Pike. Pike back to Shea, skates towards the left circle, take a lefty shot, saved by Davis, and he holds on as Shea tried to go low on Matt Davis, but the former University of Denver product makes the save. He stops play 22 seconds into the second period. 30 seconds left in the power play. Grizzlies keep the same 5-man unit on the ice. Looks like the same 4 for Wichita. Draw one by Utah. Shea gets up top to Pike. Pike back to Shea along the left wing board. Shea's got an A on his black sweater. Lepster dances around, gets it back past Shea over to Pike. Across to Voigt. He's on the right side. Voigt skates towards the right circle, stops, banks it off the boards to Pike. Pike fires to the net. Saved by Davis. He holds on with Gratton net front trying to redirect it. Gratton sporting a mustache. Previously had a goatee. As Pike with a pretty good look, and he got plenty on a wrist shot, but Davis was able to make the stop. So there's 12 seconds left in the power play. Grizzlies will have that forward line of Genev, Friesen, and Timofeyev. And it looks like Utah's preparing for life after the power play with 2 defensemen, Aiden Hansen-Bukata and Colby Enns. Friesen crouches down low, taking the draw for Wichita is their captain, Peter Bates. Bates, native of Evanston, Illinois. Draw one by Wichita, and they'll spin it along the far wing boards. Goes into the Grizzlies zone as they glanced off of Colby stick. Buchanan gets a loose puck. He's over the near side. As coming out of the penalty box is Wichita's Noah Beck, who gave a fan a souvenir from his own zone. Actually, it was Jack Barr that was in the box. Barr comes out as Timofeyev will lift it into the left corner. Grizzlies chase after it. Timofeyev gets held up by Proctor as the puck kicks to the right corner. Enns will brush it up top, but coming out of the zone is Genev. He's in control of the puck as he skates into the Grizzlies zone. Grizzlies with a rink-wide feed that goes off his stick. It goes deep into the Wichita zone, but it doesn't go off his stick according to the linesman. Icing is on Utah with 18:40 left in the second. So draw is going to come back towards Kyle Kaiser, who's making his Grizzlies debut. Kaiser has 76 games of AHL experience, most of them with the Providence Bruins. He was part of that organization for a good 5 years. Last season, he was in Russia playing in the KHL. Draw one by Wichita, righty shot, and that one's blocked away. Shot was taken by, I believe, Noah Beck. As Grizzlies enter 2-on-2. Grizzlies trying to get to Timofeyev. Puck bounces towards the right corner as Timofeyev was skating towards the net. Puck back to neutral ice. Thunder cross center. Donovan Huell tries to get around Friesen. He'll dump it into the right corner, does Huell. Huell gets there stride ahead of Gansky. Now Wichita will curl it off the boards. Left side, lefty shot saved by Kaiser as he made a blocker save on a Noah Beck blast. Beck trying to get around Enns as Enns pushes Beck towards the wall. Now bouncing puck to the left circle as Wichita gets it around the net. Krankovic feeds it to the right side. Righty shot saved by Kaiser as Kaiser lays in the crease, gets back to his feet. Enns will tap it off the glass. It goes deep into the Thunder zone, and icing is on Utah with 17:50 left in the second. Well, Kaiser appears to be a pretty active goaltender. He tried to dive towards the puck as it was at the near goal line, lost his stick before Enns got it and cleared it out. Grizzlies going with 7 defensemen tonight, and all 7 of them seem to be alive, awake, and alert as the Grizzlies have good juice here early in this contest. Draw one by Wichita as we're still scoreless. 2 minutes into the middle frame as the Thunder. Peter Bates feeds it up top. Somerville, lefty shot, saved by Kaiser. He holds on. Jay Dickman was near net front trying to redirect it as he was out there. Neil Shea was trying to protect his net. So Kaiser makes a stop. Wichita with a slight advantage in the shot count here in the second period. As Grizzlies will switch up skaters. Luke Manning will take the draw for the first time in the second period. Christian Felton talking things over with Garrett Pike. Gratton and Reed Lepster talking things over as Lepster will stop and station himself along the near wing boards. Grizzlies skate from left to right here in the period. Draw one by Peter Bates. He skates in on a Kaiser, and as he falls down, puck ends up towards Kaiser, trying to clear it or tried to hold on to it, but couldn't. As the Grizzlies get it with Reed Lepster. Lepster races across center ice. He'll tap it off the boards. Gratton chases after it. He gets around 2 Thunder skaters as he gives a rough ride towards Nico Somerville. Puck towards the left corner as Felton gets it. As he stops, he gets jolted. Gratton joins the play as he gets there about the same time as Peter Bates. Grizzlies have with Gratton as Bates shadows him. Gratton skates towards the left point. Now he'll spin it back around. Manning reverses, feels he's being shadowed by Somerville. Utah gets the left side. Lepster to Gratton. He'll take a lefty shot and it goes wide as he tried to force one in from the left circle. Now to the left goal line. Lepster with a righty shot, and that's blocked away by Davis. Davis's glove side is his right. As Pike over to Gratton. Gratton to the middle of the ice. He swings and misses as a Thunder player lost their stick. Grizzlies keep it in as Pike over to the right side. Skeets towards the circle. Take a lefty shot, and it goes wide. He missed the net stick side on Davis. Wichita rink-wide feed goes past Stenell. No icing as Kaiser plays behind his net. Kaiser rolls it to his right as Manning along the boards will feed it across to Gansky as the Grizzlies slow things down. Gansky nudges it ahead. Easy for me to say. I'm Elmer Fudd here tonight for the Grizzlies Hockey Network. Is out to the right side as Ricketts has a glance off his stick. Puck goes back to center ice and beyond as Gansky gets at the Utah line. He'll throw it back to Salem as we played about 4 minutes into the third period. Was it Elmer Fudd or was it Porky Pig that had the stuttering problem? I'm not sure. I probably should know as I can relate to them. Left side, Grizzlies fire righty shot. It goes wide. Getting it off the boards is Gratton, or make that Ricketts. He'll tap it off a Wichita skate. Thunder will bank it off the left wing boards. Proctor overskates it. Puck goes back to center ice. Wichita trying to get around one of the linesmen. Utah comes up with it. Grizzlies get it out towards Voigt at center ice, and Utah's able to get it in deep. Thunder back deep in their own zone, spread the ice as Neil Shea will come off for somebody else. As the Thunder slow things down in their own zone, Griffin Ness on the ice for Utah. As the Thunder back towards the left wing. Wallen will roll it towards his right. Gillette gets it off the boards. Gillette crosses center ice, and he'll lunge the puck in as it rolls along the wall. Wichita with a rink-wide feed, angle left, that goes past everybody all the way down for an icing, as Noah Gansky did a good job hustling after the loose puck, as he had Nick Nardicia out there with them. Nardicia is a 5'10", 174-pound forward who has pretty good speed. So he played 5 minutes into the second period. Still no score. Both goaltenders look like they're going to be pretty tough tonight. Kaiser for the Grizzlies and Davis for Wichita. Lepster's out there with Ness and Gillette. Ness taking the draw. He's been pretty sharp in this series. Draw won by Wichita. Ness has got a point in 2 of his last 3 games. As the Thunder win a 50-50 puck skate towards the left side. As Lepster delivers a push, giving some lumber to a Wichita skater. Grizzlies' Luke Salem will chip it back in. As Ness over in the area. Ness gets up top to Salem. He fires lefty shot, saved by Davis. Lepster with a backhand shot that misses wide. John Gillette goes after a loose puck. He gets in the left corner. Gillette around Wichita's net towards the nearest side as he gets divorced from the puck as another Thunder skater gets it. And they will globe it towards center ice. Puck bounces near the Wichita bench. Salem nudges ahead about 10 feet. Ness tries to locate it. As a Wichita player comes on the ice, it looked like they got too many for a brief moment. As they got away with it as Utah had control of the puck. Grizzlies dump it in. 14-18 on a moving clock. Second period, still no score. Thunder move it towards their left. They get out to center ice. They get around Friesen. Friesen took it away. He'll drop it for Timofeyev over to the right side. He swings and misses. He was looking for a wrist shot. As dancing around is Friesen. As Wichita over in the area. Timofeyev joins the play. He gets pushed in the corner. Now taking the puck is Friesen. He gets up top to Felton. Felton skates towards his left. Now he reverses his field. He's in the left point. Gets to Timofeyev. Timofeyev fires a righty shot. Saved by Davis. And he holds on. 13:48 left in the second period. Grizzlies will have an offensive zone draw on the other side. We're still looking for the game's first goal. This is the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
From commercial to recreational truck accessories, Mountain Land Truck Outfitters has got what you need. Flatbeds, spray and bed liners, lifts and leveling kits, wheels and tires. Mountain Land Truck Outfitters proudly uses a brand you know and trust. And with our experienced, knowledgeable, and friendly staff, your visit here will be informative and enjoyable. Stop into our convenient location in Provo at 265 South 100 West or call 801-225-4637 to get a quote for your fleet or individual truck. Mountain Land Truck.
Since 1939, America First has helped people start businesses, buy homes and cars, and achieve their financial goals. Today, our top priority is still the financial success of you and your family, which is why we're giving new members $100 when they sign up for a basic savings and checking account, and another $100 when they upgrade to premium checking and enroll in and use direct deposit. So head to americafirst.com today and join the credit union that always puts its members first.
13:48 left in the second period. Still no score. Grizzlies have outshot the Thunder 5-3 in the second period, and Utah has an overall edge of 18-11. Thunder win the draw. They move it up but not out. Puck off of Timofeyev's stick on a centering pass from Genev. Timofeyev gets a Wichita player rough ride as he bounced the Thunder player off the glass. Grizzlies back in their own zone as they set up shop. Ends feeds to Hanson Bucata. And Bucata, the RIT and Ohio State product, tries to get it to Timofeyev. Thunder will slide it back in. Ends towards the right corner as he gets pushed by Tyrone Bronte, who's a native of Melbourne, Australia. He didn't play last night. Now Donovan Huell, left side, will take a righty shot that goes over Kaiser's right shoulder as it ricocheted off the glass. Thunder dancing around over on the left side as Bucata gets hit up high, no call. Racing after the puck is Genev. He skates down the middle, loses his balance, trying to get the puck back, looking for a centering pass, and he gets pushed to the right corner by Jay Dickman. As Wichita crosses center ice, and they'll bounce one in. As Christian Felton coming after the loose puck, he'll roll it along the wall for Friesen. Evan Friesen being chased by Bates. Now Friesen reverses it back towards the right corner for Pike, who spins himself around. Dickman pins Pike to the boards. Now the puck goes back towards Utah. Reed Lepster will carry it across center ice. Now he drags the puck in the offensive zone, chips Diz right for Felton. Felton with a righty shot, saved by Davis. Puck is gloved and dropped by Wichita as Felton gets it knifed away out to center ice. Pike gets the loose puck. He'll push it towards Manning. Manning near the Grizzlies bench. Will move it in. Thunder chase after it. Grizzlies make a line change. They switched up forwards. Rink wide feed, angle right, connects at center ice. Thunder try to bounce it in. The Grizzlies take it back away. Gansky, who appears to have an A on his sweater, as he'll tap it off the boards. As Shea in the area. Manning trying to locate the puck as Wichita throws it back to center ice. Manning gets it. Manning steps over the offensive line, bounces one towards his right for Lepster. Lepster with a shot. He scores! Grizzlies get on the board as Lepster fired a prayer towards the net. And did it get redirected? No, it's Reed Lepster getting the goal. It's his team leading 6th of the year. Lepster, along the right wing boards, fired a shot. Manning was in the area. I don't know if Manning got a piece of it or maybe it was Masters. Manning doesn't believe he got a piece of it. But either way, Utah leads 1-0. So Reed Lepster, if it's his goal, it's his 6th of the year. Luke Manning, if it's his goal, it would be his 1st of the season. Kyle Masters was nearby Manning. Puck looked like it ricocheted off something on the way. But looked like probably Reed Lepster. Manning didn't believe he got a piece of it. Lepster most likely got a 6th of the year. So it's 1-0 Utah as the Grizzlies have outscored opponents 9-7 this season in the second periods. Gansky nudges ahead. Grizzlies loft one towards Voigt. Voigt at center ice gets her about the same time as the Thunder skater as Wallen takes it away from Voigt. Wallen throws it towards the left side. Lefty chip by Finnegan onto Kaiser. He covers up in the crease. Kaiser holds on with 11:24 left in the second period. So let's see if the off-ice officials have the description of the goal, and they gave it to Reed Lepster. He now has 6 goals this season. Luke Manning and Christian Felton pick up the assists. So Felton now has an assist in back-to-back games. He has 3 on the season. Luke Manning gets his 2nd assist of the year, and Reed Lepster picks up his team-leading 6th goal of the season. Time of goal 8:11 into the second period. Grizzlies have been the aggressor tonight. They're out shooting Wichita 20-12. Wichita left side, Bates with a shot saved by Kaiser. There is a discrepancy, though, as Jason Malsey, Wichita broadcaster, believes that Luke Manning should get the goal. So they'll take a second look at it. Grizzlies have the puck along the right side. As Griffin Ness crosses center ice, he'll move it to his left. As the Grizzlies skate towards the left circle. Lefty shot saved by Davis. That shot was taken by Sage Weinstein, and after the whistle, we got a fight. Griffin Ness is throwing hands with Declan Smith. As both guys hold each other up, Ness trying to break free. Smith with a body blow. Now he throws an uppercut. Now Smith with a couple rights. Now 3-4 rights. Ness goes down momentarily, gets back to his feet. As Ness throws a couple rights. Smith with a few rights, and Ness doing a good job keeping his feet. Smith with another right. Now an uppercut misses on Ness, and the linesmen step in. Declan Smith and Griffin Ness drop the gloves as Smith, sporting a mustache, will skate towards the penalty box. Boy, Griffin Ness took about 10 good blows from Smith, and after the whistle, Smith and Ness just had a bit of a disagreement, and they just decided to drop the gloves right then and there. Ness tried to break free and throw some rights, but it looked like Smith had a pretty good angle. Then Smith with a good uppercut, then a blow towards the helmet. Smith certainly got more blows in on Ness, but Ness held his ground. Ness then took his elbow pad, removed it to try to break free a little bit. Ness got in a quick right as they show the replay. But you got to give Griffin Ness some credit. He took quite a few rights from Smith, but he was able to keep his feet. So it looks like they're going to skate 5-on-5, 5 minutes for fighting each, as there's an even 11 minutes left in the second period. The graphic says they're skating 4-on-4, but instead they're just skating 5-on-5. Wichita wins the draw, and we get a whistle, and it looked like a hand pass. Might be a penalty. This might be a face-off violation, as looks like the referee skating towards center ice. It is going to be a penalty. Looks like a face-off violation. It looked like right off the draw, a Wichita player tried to scoop the puck with his hand and glove, and that's going to be a penalty on Nick Nardicia. So the Grizzlies are going to get a power play in what looked to be a very unusual penalty. So it looked like Nardicia had taken the face-off, and then the referee with kind of a scooping motion as he was telling Nardicia to go to the box. So it's going to be a power play for Utah. Their second of the night. They're 0 for 1 on the power play. Grattan will take the draw. He's got Shea and Lepster nearby, and up top is Voigt and Pike. Grizzlies win the face-off. Pike over on the right side. Utah leads 1-0. Voigt, right wing. He'll take a righty shot, saved by Davis. Everybody hacking away. Loose puck. Wichita gets it. They clear it out. Kaiser behind his net. Will drop it for Pike. Grizzlies spread the ice. Shea cuts in front of Pike, and Shea takes the puck. Neil Shea out to neutralize. He'll drop it back for Pike. Pike across to Voigt. Voigt over the offensive line. He'll slide it to his left. Shea will dance towards the left circle, dangling back and forth. Stops in the corner. Reverses back towards the point. He'll slide it up top to Pike, but the pass goes wide of the mark. Pike runs down. Kaiser well out of his crease. Will fire it off the near wing wall. Puck goes to center ice for Grattan, who crosses the center red line. Steps over the offensive blue. He has Bates towards his right shoulder. Grattan will spin it from one corner to the other. Lepster, the lone goal scorer tonight, although it could be Manning. They're still talking it over. Shea over there with Grattan. Wichita gets the loose puck, and they clear it out. Halfway through Utah's power play, as the Grizzlies might be filtering some players on and off the screen as Pike gets it. And it looks like the Grizzlies have made a line change as Genev's out there. Ricketts as Pike down the middle of the ice. He'll drop it for Jack Ricketts, or make that Danny Genev. Genev over the offensive line, and he gets belted by his teammate. As Genev tried to step over the offense line, we get a whistle, and it looks like I don't know what happened. Penalty's going to be on Genev. Genev goes to the box. Genev was racing to neutralize, just collided with his teammate, and now Genev picks up a penalty. Genev just rammed into... What did Genev do to get the penalty? He just raced across center ice, ran into his teammate at full speed, and now he's in the box. So we're going to skate. I think we're going to skate 4-on-4 for a little bit. The score bug has it as a 2-minute 4-on-4 situation. That's not true. As Wichita wins the draw, Utah leads 1-0. As the Grizzlies, and now Wichita will back it out into their own zone. Genev got a helmet violation, 10:20 into the second, as he rammed into his teammate, and I think started to play once again. So we got two crazy penalties to set up this 4-on-4 situation as Huell has the puck. Donovan's his first name, skates towards the middle of the ice, angle left. He fires a righty shot that's off a Grizzly stick. As now behind Kaiser's net, Enns comes up with it. As I think we're still skating 4-on-4. Now the puck goes back to Wichita. As they try to get around Hanson Buchanan, they'll slide it towards Kaiser. And it looked like a Thunder player got after Kaiser after the whistle. Kaiser gets up angry as he lost his stick. Ends going after it with a Wichita skater as they try to protect their goaltender. As Kaiser, as he was trying to cover up, had his stick knocked away from him. Colby Ends talking with Wichita as he has some words with Kyle Master. So there's 8:57 left in the second period. Looks like Wichita's on a power play as Kaiser covered up, and then it looked like Jay Dickman took a swipe towards Kaiser, and that's where the Grizzlies went after Dickman. So Nardicia picking up the puck minor 9 minutes into the second period, and Danny Genev had the audacity of playing hockey without his helmet as he got blasted by his teammate at full speed as Genev was skating into the offensive zone. Genev was at full speed. The Grizzly was just kind of hanging out the blue line, and Genev's helmet fell off, and Genev kept playing hockey, and that's where he got the penalty. So, and, Ness and Smith are in the box, each serving a fighting major. So we've seen some crazy stuff here over the last couple minutes, the sort of things you maybe see once or twice a year. So Wichita's on the power play for the next minute 5. Kyle Krankovic, the speedy lefty. He's at neutral ice. He'll drop it off as the Thunder cross center ice. Mikkel Stenell veers off to the right, steps over the offensive blue, and he'll drag it around the boards as the Grizzlies will tap it towards the left side. Bates is up top. Now back to Bates in the left wing. Bates, last night's #1 star. He'll slide it to his right. Thunder directed towards the net. Shot saved by Kaiser, and he holds on. Good job by Salem and Grattan and company to protect Kaiser. as Kaiser bobbled it for a brief moment, but he holds on with 8:22 left in the second. 43 seconds left in Wichita's power play. So the Grizzlies will filter some players on and off. That's a tough one for Genev. And, at the college level, you got that shield. You probably don't have your helmet removed. It's one of those instincts. You lose your helmet, you still got to shift and you still got some hockey to play. Just, that's why he was in the box. He just kept playing hockey despite his helmet being off. Didn't just skate towards the bench. As Masters throws to the right side after Wichita won the draw. Over to the right goal line now back up top. Thunder with their secondary power play unit. Masters with a shot, save, rebound, shot. As Jay Dickman took a swing at a Grizzly. Dickman lost his stick. Dickman's without his stick. He's trying to set a screen on Kaiser. 17 seconds left in the power play. Masters one-timer. That goes wide. Dickman couldn't redirect this. He didn't have a stick. Dickman picks his stick back up. Grizzlies clearing out to center. Masters with the puck. He'll skate back towards his own blue line. He'll pitch it ahead. Now the Thunder re-enter. 3 seconds left in the power play. Bates gets double-teamed. He'll get it to Dickman on the right side. Dickman skates in. Backhands Deloitte. He'll take a righty shot. Saved by Kaiser. Rebound goes to Dickman. Genev's out of the box. He joins the play. Grizzlies try to slide it to new tries for Genev. It's kept in. As the Thunder, left side, they'll take a lefty shot, and that goes wide as it ricochets off the glass. It goes out of play with 7:26 left in the second. That last shot was taken by number 25, Jack Barr. Utah leads 1-0, 7:26 left in the second period. It's the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
Les Schwab changed the tire game more than 70 years ago. Today, we still believe you should get more from less. Like more hustle, less hassle. More of the best service around, less of the runaround. Because we include America's best tire warranty in every tire we sell. So you get more unbeatable warranty, less charging you extra. It's why we're more than proud to say, you get more from less.
So it's 1-0 Utah with 7:26 left in the second period. There's been a scoring change. They gave the goal to Luke Manning, a goal that was originally scored by Lebster. They say Manning got a piece of it. Luke Manning with his first of the year. Lebster and Felton with the assist. And the time of that goal is 8:11 into the second period, and that's where we sit as the offensive zone draw by Wichita is won by Utah. Grizzlies will clear it all the way into the Wichita zone. There's no icing on the play. Noah Beck, the native of Richmond Hills, Ontario, will drop it off to the middle of the ice. Thunder across center ice, and they'll spin it around the boards. And so Luke Manning got the goal. They say redirected the Reed Lebster shot. Lebster originally got credited with the goal, but they say Manning got a piece of it. Lloyd left side. He'll take a righty shot. Glove saved by Kaiser, and he holds on. Kyle Kaiser's been busy so far tonight. He has saved all 15 he has seen. Grizzlies have outshot the Thunder 22-15. Boy, Kaiser looks to be pretty sharp. He had 3 really good games with Colorado in the AHL earlier this season. In fact, he had a 2-1 record with a 1.34 goals against average with the Eagles, but just a little bit of a numbers game. And with Trent Miner getting sent back to the Eagles when Mackenzie Blackwood got healthy, for Kaiser, he either could have been the third goalie with the Eagles or he comes down to Utah and gets some playing time. And that's what he's getting here this evening. Dylan Wells is the backup. Draw one by Wichita. Stenell shot saved by Kaiser. Rebound goes to Utah. Grizzlies will flip it towards Ricketts. Puck hipping opposite center ice. Ricketts gets it. Jack Ricketts down the middle of the ice. He'll veer off to the left. Ricketts loses his balance as he got tripped up. No call. As Grizzlies will get it up top to Gansky. Gansky back towards Shea. Gets redirected by a Wichita stick. Thunder will nudge it ahead looking for Stenell from Finnegan. As Gansky gets in the way. Grizzlies up with the puck. As Utah dancing around, we had 2 very unusual penalties called in the second period as Gansky will cross center ice, right wing, and he'll whip it around the wall. Voigt will tap it into Ricketts. Ricketts avoids a check, gets the left side, drops off to the spot he vacated. Voigt dancing around behind Wichita's net. Now he spins around, getting around Bates, trying to get towards Ricketts, who couldn't handle it. Declan Smith will shovel it out to center ice. Smith back on the ice after serving a 5-minute major as he fought Griffin Ness. Shea around the boards, cut off by Matt Davis. As Davis rolls it towards the far side, Grizzlies skate from left to right here in the period. 6 minutes left in the second. Luke Manning dances around, and he picked up a goal in the second period. Shea to Ricketts off his stick, make that Reed Webster. As Grizzlies going with an odd number of forwards. They've got the forward combinations mixed up a little bit. As Utah's Danny Genev gets pushed along the glass. Puck will fly out to center ice. Ends in the area, surrounded by two Thunder skaters left and right. As Utah takes it back, Grizzlies will feed it out towards center ice. Linesman says icing on Utah. And so the whistle blows with 5:28 left in the second period. Play starting to get a little bit chippy over at INTRUST Bank Arena as the Grizzlies are looking to even up the two-game series. Wichita came away with a 6-4 victory in last night's game. Speaking of those crazy penalties, Nick Nardicia got 2 minutes for picking up the puck with his glove. It was a minor penalty. And then Danny Genev got a helmet violation as he was skating full speed down the middle of the ice. And he just crashed into his teammate and fell down. He hit the ice. His helmet came popping off. And instead of just skating to the bench or putting his helmet on, he decided to keep playing hockey without the helmet. Craig McTavish could do that in the 1990s, but Danny Genev can't do it in the year 2025. So he got a 2-minute penalty. Both teams are 0 for 2 on the power play. We're skating 5-on-5. Grizzlies have it deep in their own zone as Manning gets back checked. Thunder get pushed along the boards. Manning trying to hold his ground. Grattan in the area. Manning will slide it back towards Colby Enns, and Enns will cycle it around the wall looking for Reed Webster. He couldn't get a piece of it, and it goes all the way down for a Utah icing with 5:04 left in the second period. It's one of 4 games featuring Mountain Division teams. Halfway through the second period, Idaho leads Kansas City 2-1. As Pearson and Mitch Wall have the goals for Idaho. After 2 periods, Tulsa leads Allen 2-1. And late first period, Tahoe leads Rapid City 2-1. Draw one by the Grizzlies, and they'll loft it out towards center ice as the Thunder will drive it back in. Webster's out there with Manning and Shea. As the Grizzlies get it back towards Webster. Webster dances around, crosses center ice, no chip it in. Actually, it's Grattan and not Shea that's on the ice. As Manning towards the left corner, tries to break free. Manning feeds it back up top as Garrett Pike dancing around. Pike fires a lefty shot, gets redirected by Grattan and ricochets off the glass. Grattan feeds it to the right corner. Loose puck, Reed Webster gets it, and he'll cycle it back to the left side. As Dickman will bounce off a Grizzlies skate. Peter Bates will clear it out to center. Grizzlies reset. Webster will globe it into the Wichita zone right side. Chasing after it, Somerville along with Luke Manning. But the whistle blows with 4:20 left in the second. So timeout on the ice. Luke Manning got a piece of the Reed Webster shot, 8-11 into the second period. That's the lone goal in the game. 4 minutes, 20 seconds left in the second period. We're back in 1 minute. This is the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
Les Schwab changed the tire game more than 70 years ago. Today, we still believe you should get more from less. Like more hustle, less hassle. More of the best service around, less of the runaround. Because we include America's best tire warranty in every tire we sell. So you get more unbeatable warranty, less charging you extra. It's why we're more than proud to say, you get more from less.
4 minutes, 20 seconds left in the second period. Snoop Dogg's delight as the Grizzlies will take the draw over in the near circle. Evan Friesen's out there with Timofeyev and Genev. Grizzlies win the draw as Felton skates around Kyle Kaiser's net. Kaiser's been outstanding for Utah so far. Grizzlies will backhand it to center ice, and Wichita will throw it back in. As the puck bounces towards the far side, Grizzlies will slide it across. Pike gets it off the boards at center ice. The North Dakota product will chip it into the right corner, chases after it, gets there before two Thunder skaters. Grizzlies, Genev gets pushed, and the Thunder will sky it out to center ice. It ricochets off the far boards, chasing after it with good speed. Timofeyev, the 30-year-old out of Russia. He loses the puck as the Wichita Thunder get to the right side. Righty shot, saved by Kaiser, and a Thunder player crashed into Kaiser. Kaiser makes the stop as Tyrone Bronte fired away from the right side and then kind of slid into Kaiser. Pike and Kaiser talk things over as both guys have been in camp with the Colorado Eagles. Kaiser started the season there, and Pike, he was reassigned to the Grizzlies after Colorado's training camp ended. Draw's going to be over in the right circle. Grizzlies looked sharp here tonight. Both goaltenders looked sharp as well. And assuming that Luke Manning got a piece of the Reed Webster shot, that's going to be the type of goals you score. Those ones on redirections and things where a goaltender has to react super quick as the puck goes one way and then gets redirected towards another. Griffin Ness has the puck one-on-one, skates to the left side. He'll take a shot, saved by Davis, and he holds on. Good job by Matt Davis to not allow a rebound as Griffin Ness from the left side took a quick-looking wrist shot, and then he followed his shot, but there was no second chance there as Davis was able to corral it in front of the crease. So Utah will have an offensive zone draw. 3:34 is left in the second. As Ness and Gillette are out there with Manning. Manning's going to take the face-off. Grizzlies are going with 11 forwards and 7 defensemen tonight, as Rylan Kovacevic is serving the second of a 3-game suspension, and Adam Berg is on the injured list with a lower body injury. Maxime Barbashev and Avery Winslow are the other scratches. As draw won by Wichita. Wichita's affiliated with San Jose, both the Sharks and Barracuda. Grizzlies affiliated with the two Colorado clubs, the Avalanche and the Eagles. Puck towards the right corner of the Grizzlies zone. Kaiser looks over his left shoulder as Gansky holds his ground as he's battling with a few Thunder skaters. As Gansky continues to hold his ground, Declan Smith in the area for Wichita as the Thunder try to break free, goes up top. Thunder have it. Proctor, high slot. They'll take a lefty shot that's blocked by Ness's stick. Manning with the puck. He'll move it to his left. Gansky gets around Lloyd. Gansky towards the left goal line, tried to chip one out in front, looking for Gillette. Puck bounced off a Gillette's stick as he was occupied by a Thunder skater. Ness behind the net towards the left side. Dance around, he gets towards the left circle. Take a righty shot that's blocked. Puck goes back up top. Left point for ends. Over to Ness as Ness dances around. He'll slide one towards Gillette, who gets occupied by Proctor. Lloyd holds his ground on a Grizzly skater, and that's, I believe, Manning. Actually, it was Ty Voigt, as Voigt has part of his jersey lifted, and so he can't see the number. As dancing around TJ Lloyd, he'll skate towards the near side, and he'll backhand it ahead as it ricochets off the glass. As no icing on the play. Ends deep in the Grizzlies zone. Gets belted from behind by number 18, Kyle Jeffers, who scored a goal last night. Grizzlies will pitchfork it ahead towards Voigt as Ricketts couldn't handle it. As the Thunder, with a cross-ice feed, puck bounces towards Kaiser, and he'll bouncing off a Thunder skater towards the far corner. Grizzlies skate from left to right here in the period. There's less than 2 minutes left in the second frame. Enns holds his ground along the boards. Ricketts looking nearby, as well as Aiden Hansen-Bukata and Neil Shea. Grizzlies pop free. Ricketts gets bounced to the boards, and that's going to be a penalty on Wichita. Well, it looked like coming out of the pile. Now it looks like we've got an argument as Aiden Hansen-Bukata tying things up with Spencer Blackwell. As Ricketts, as he was coming out of the scrum, had the puck, then he got hit from behind on an awkward angle by Blackwell. Hansen-Bukata was nearby, and Hansen-Bukata felt that Ricketts was in a bit of a compromising position, and so he went after Blackwell. Blackwell shakes his head back and forth, but he's going to serve a 2-minute penalty. So there's 1:45 left in the second. Utah leads 1-0, and they're going to be on the power play for the third time tonight. Peter Bates arguing the case with referee Rocco Stakoviak. This is already the fourth game that Rocco Stakoviak has had involving the Grizzlies. He was at Maverick Center all 3 games, along with Sidney Harris in the series against the Jacksonville Icemen. So Grattan will take the drives out there with Shea and Lepster, as well as Ty Voigt and Garrett Pike. Draw one by Wichita. The Grizzlies looking to get some insurance here late in the second period. Wichita flips it into the Grizzlies' ice. Pike has the puck. He's behind Kyle Kaiser, who's played strong here so far. Pike Slides one angle right to center ice for Grattan. Grattan throws it to somebody off the screen. Lepster gets the puck, skates down the middle. Now he steps over the offensive line, veers to the left. He'll drop it for Shea. Shea, 4 goals this season, over to Voigt on the right side. He'll feed it up top to Pike. He directs it to Shea. Shea to Lepster, back along the near wing boards. Voigt gets it. Voigt dances around the right wing, gets to Grattan right goal line. He'll take a lefty shot, saved by Davis. Rebound goes behind Wichita's net as Davis around the boards towards the corner for Jack Barr. As Grattan throws it from one corner to the other. Less than a minute left in the second period. Voigt feeds up top to Lepster. Over to Pike in the high slot. Now to Shea in the left wing. Shea skates towards the circle with momentum. Stops in the left corner. He'll slide one back up top for Pike. Pike dances to his right. Now he gets it back to Shea. Shea throws it towards the left goal line. They try to get it to Lepster. Now shot to score! Puck pinballed a couple ways. Neil Shea's in the area with Pike, and it's Neil Shea getting his 5th of the year. Utah takes a 2-0 lead. Boy, Grattan was at the left goal line, tried to get it to Lepster. Puck then bounced off the Wichita stick onto Shea. Shea was over on the left side. Davis couldn't really tell where the puck was, and Neil Shea gets a power play goal. He now has a goal in 4 straight games and a point in 5 straight, as the Grizzlies have a 2-0 lead with goals from Luke Manning and Neil Shea. So the Grizzlies, they've been on top of their game here so far. Well, after losing 6-4 last night, Grizzlies put together a pretty strong first period effort. Neither team scored, and the Grizzlies look like they've got an extra bounce to their step here tonight. Grizzlies dump it in as we're skating 5-on-5. Utah picks up a little bit of insurance with the Neil Shea goal. Ricketts gets pushed as he's trying to break free of Noah Beck. Beck, a native of Richmond Hill, Ontario. As Beck gets the puck, he's in the middle of the ice. He turns it over. Ness on the left side trying a backhand shot that Beck was able to drift away. 13 seconds left in the period. Ness holds his ground, battling against Beck. Ricketts in the area. As he tries to corral the puck, it goes between his legs. Thunder will move it out to center ice. Thunder dump it in. 2 seconds left in the period. Gansky collects it, and that will do it for 40 minutes over at INTRUST Bank Arena as Luke Manning redirected a Reed Lepster shot, 8-11 in. And then on a power play, Grattan was at the goal line, tried to center it to Lepster, ricocheted off a Wichita stick onto Neil Shea, and Shea from the left wing was able to fire it past Davis as the Grizzlies have played some good hockey here tonight. Shea scored 19-19 into the second period with Reed Lepster and Tyler Grattan getting the assist. So Lepster now has 2 assists tonight as he assisted on the Manning goal. It was Lepster that actually took the shot that they say Manning redirected. Interestingly enough, it was Lepster that skated to the bench first, so Manning didn't believe that he got a piece of it, but nevertheless, they gave the goal to Manning. And so the Grizzlies, they've got a lead going into the third period. Grizzlies so far this season in third periods have outscored their opponents by a margin of 10-9. And Wichita in the third periods this season, they have been outscored 8-7. So we'll see what happens in the third as the Grizzlies have a 2-goal lead. And remember, fatigue might be on the Grizzlies side. It's just their second game in a back-to-back, and Wichita is playing for the third straight day. We'll come back and talk some hockey, and we'll recap the first 2 periods and go over some scores in the ECHL as well as the National Hockey League. After 40 minutes, Utah leads 2-0. You're listening to the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
Tonight's game is brought to you by the ECHL, celebrating its 38th season of affordable family entertainment. The ECHL would like to thank everyone in attendance for your support of ECHL hockey. The ECHL would also like to recognize the following league sponsors: AMI Graphics, exclusive signage provider; Athletic Knit, official jersey supplier; Baron Rings, official championship ring supplier; BFL Canada Insurance and Sutton Special Risk, sponsors of the 2026 ECHL Hall of Fame induction ceremony; Dash, official mobile auction platform; The Fairley Group, official commercial insurance provider; Flow Sports, exclusive streaming provider; Hotel Planner, official hotel reservations partner; Howie's Hockey Tape, exclusive hockey tape and lace provider. In Glasgow, exclusive puck provider. Prolific One, exclusive secondary ticketing partner. And Warrior, exclusive on-ice equipment provider and title sponsor of the 2026 ECHL All-Star Classic. Catch all of the ECHL action live in high definition by logging on to flowhockey.tv.
We're 20, and yeah, we're celebrating big. Because in 20 years, we didn't just make the gear. We made hockey cooler. They said we were too loud, too flashy, too different. They told us to tone it down. The Warriors don't tone it down. We go full throttle. And this is just the start. 20 years in and we're just getting warmed up. We're still the brand that makes the gear you can win in, chirping, and partying. And if you thought we were bold before, just wait. The next 20 years start now.
Oh, we've seen some fun action over at INTRUST Bank Arena as the Grizzlies lead 2-0 after 40 minutes of play. I'm Tyson Whiting. Neither team scored in the first period. Utah outshot Wichita 13-8. Early in the second period, 8:11 in, Reed Lebster had the puck on the right side. Luke Manning was cutting towards the net, and Lebster fired away, and they say that Manning got a piece of it. So Luke Manning gets the goal, which is his first of the year, and Reed Lebster and Christian Felton picked up the assist. You know, you talk about the celebration circle, and usually you want to see who comes out first because most of the time that's the guy who scored the goal. Manning didn't believe he got a piece of it, but because Lebster skated to the bench first, however, they say that Manning got a piece of it, and so he gets his first of the year. That was 8:11 into the second period. Then we saw a couple bizarre things. Griffin Ness got in a fight with Declan Smith in even 9 minutes into the second period. Smith threw a few more punches than Ness, but you got to hand it to Griffin Ness. He stayed on his feet until the linesman stepped in. And then on the following faceoff in the left circle, Nick Nardicia got a delay of game for a faceoff infraction. He played the puck with his glove and just kind of scooped it. And so the referee spotted it and gave Nardicia delay of game faceoff infraction penalty. So the Grizzlies got on the power play, and then Danny Genev, about a minute 20 into the power play, was just racing at full speed down the middle of the ice. He got to neutral ice, and at the Wichita line, he just crashed into one of his teammates. Genev went down, his helmet flew off, and Genev got up and kept playing hockey. Well, the problem is you can't do that these days, and so we got a penalty for a helmet violation. You know, when your helmet gets removed, you have, I think, two options. You either pick up the helmet, put it back on and strap it up and then go back and play, or you just skate right to the bench and, somebody hands you your helmet while you're sitting on the bench. So you can't play with the helmet, and that's what appeared to be the case with Genev. And so he got a penalty, 10-20, for a helmet violation. So how about that? You see a minute 20-second stretch where you see a delay of game for a face-off infraction, and you see a helmet violation just a minute and a half later. So we've seen some bizarre things here so far tonight. And then 18-15 into the second period, Spencer Blackwell got a boarding minor as he pushed Jack Ricketts along the boards. That gave Utah a 2-minute power play, and the Grizzlies' top power play unit went to work. Utah's done a pretty good job passing the puck around tonight. Puck ended up towards the left goal line for Grattan. Grattan tried to get to the middle of the ice for Lebster. There was about 3 or 4 Wichita bodies in the area. Grattan tried to get to Lebster, glanced off a Wichita stick onto Shea. Shea was over on the left side, and Davis, the Wichita goaltender, was just trying to figure out where the puck was. He probably thought that the pass ended up getting to Shea, didn't realize that the pass got to Lebster, didn't realize that Shea had it, and then Shea was able to fire it past Matt Davis, the Wichita goaltender, for the game's second goal. Shea gets his 4th of the year, and he now has a goal in 4 straight games and a point in 5 straight. Lebster picks up his 2nd assist of the night. It's his 2nd multiple-point game of the year. And Tyler Grattan picks up an assist, and Gratton now has the Grizzlies lead with 6 assists on the year. He broke a tie with Aiden Hanson-Bucata. Both guys had 5 assists coming into play tonight. And for Tyler Gratton, he's been pretty strong as of late, as he now has a point in 6 of his last 8 games, with this being the 8th game. So the Grizzlies have played some pretty good hockey. Utah, we mentioned, outshot Wichita 13-8 in the first period. Second period was pretty even. Grizzlies with 13 shots and Wichita with 12. So the Grizzlies have a 26-20 edge in the shot count. Utah is 1 for 3 on the power play, and they are 2 for 2 on the penalty kill. Neil Shea leads Utah with 4 shots. Evan Friesen and Griffin Ness each have 3 shots. Ness has played a pretty good game for the Grizzlies, as Utah is getting contributions from just about every forward, even if it isn't necessarily showing up on the stat sheet. For Wichita, Noah Beck and Spencer Blackwell lead their case with 3 shots on goal. Kyle Kaiser's been outstanding in net for the Grizzlies. He has saved all 20 he has seen. Matt Davis has played a pretty good game for Wichita. If you think about how the Grizzlies have scored their 2 goals, they've been in a little bit of unusual fashions, a little bit unorthodox, and really against a goaltender like Davis, that's going to be the type of goals you're going to have to score against him. A redirection there off of Manning into the back of the net. I mean, if Manning doesn't get a piece of it, Davis probably makes the save. If it goes right off of Lebster's stick, and Lebster was along the right wing boards. And then Neil Shea, obviously kind of an unusual play, as it bounced off of 2 or 3 sticks onto Shea, and then Shea was able to fire it past Davis, as Davis was trying to figure out where the puck was, and before he knew it was in the back of his net. Those are going to be the type of goals Utah scores, because it seems like if it's a smooth type of play, Davis is going to be able to make the save. He looks to be a pretty good pro. He's in his rookie year, but he had a great college career at the University of Denver. And as for Kyle Kaiser, well, he's seen a lot of action out in front, and it seems like on a few occasions Wichita's bumped into Kaiser, so somewhat accidentally, but somewhat not. So the Grizzlies on a couple of occasions have had to protect their goaltender, and I imagine Wichita in this third period is just going to try to up the pressure and try to get some more pressure in front of Kaiser, but the Grizzlies have really held their ground so far. And after 2 periods of play, Utah has a 2-0 lead, as they're going to look to protect the lead in the third period and maybe add on to it. And remember that for Wichita is playing in their 3rd consecutive day, so they got to be a pretty tired team. And that Wednesday game was in Allen, so they had to travel a little bit, getting from Allen over to Wichita for Thursday night's game against the Grizzlies. So a lot of interesting stuff happening tonight at INTRUST Bank Arena. Don't forget that the next Grizzlies game is going to be 7 days from now. The Grizzlies are going to have just about a week off, and then they face the Idaho Steelheads. That's going to be next Friday for Pucks and Pups at Maverick Center. Bring your dog to the game and sit in a special dog section. And there's going to be some fun dog-related activities tonight, and the Grizzlies will look for a victory against the arch-rival Idaho Steelheads. When we come back to the intermission report, we will go over some other scores in the league, and we'll also check in on the 4 NHL games this evening. It's going to be a busier night in the National Hockey League tomorrow evening. Utah leads 2-0 on goals from Luke Manning and Neil Shea. This is the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
Every new day is a chance to be kinder to your body and your mind. U of U Health is here to help you build strength and confidence every day. Let us help you be a better you. U of U Health, official health partner for the Utah Jazz, Utah Hockey Club, Utes Athletics, and the Utah Grizzlies. Take the first step today at uofuhealth.org.
Les Schwab changed the tire game more than 70 years ago. Today, we still believe that you should get more from less. Like exclusive tires we design ourselves means more tires made for the roads that you drive, less compromise, and we include America's best tire warranty in every tire we sell. It's more unbeatable warranty, less charging you extra. And our 60-day satisfaction guarantee means you'll be way more satisfied and way less stressed. For all this and more, you get more from less.
It's a busy night in the league. Let's go over the Mountain Division scores. Utah leads 2-0 after 2 periods over at INTRUST Bank Arena. After 40 minutes at Cable Dama Arena, Steelheads lead the Mavericks 2-1. Caleb Pearson and Mitch Wall have the goals for Idaho. Judding found the back of the net 17-40 in for Kansas City. Halfway through the third period, Tulsa leads Allen 2-1. Former Grizzly Dylan Fitz, we believe, is making his Oilers debut. He signed with Tulsa earlier this week. Early second period, Tahoe leads Rapid City 2-1. Former Grizzly Ryan Wagner has the lone goal for Rapid City. Other action in the league, how about Guy Carenza's Atlanta Gladiators? They defeat Jacksonville 5-2 as Alex Young scored 2 goals. Atlanta is 7-1 on the season. Indy got a 5-0 shutout victory against Bloomington as Indy got goals from 5 different players. Game is played in Fishers, Indiana, hometown of Mike Fulta. Wheeling and Greensboro are headed to overtime. That game is tied at 2. Kalamazoo had a 5-0 lead at one point. Toledo clawed back with 4 goals, including one from Brandon Hawkins. Toledo scored 19-29 into the third to make it a 5-4 game, but Toledo couldn't get the tying goal as Kalamazoo holds on for a 5-4 victory. But how about Toledo with the comeback bid? Kalamazoo led 5-0, and then Toledo scored 4 goals in the span of 14 minutes to climb back into it 5-4, but Kalamazoo holds on and picks up the 2 standings points. Jeff Carr's Norfolk Admirals defeat Adirondack 4-1. Osmondson scored 2 goals for the Admirals. Maine defeats Worcester in a 4-0 game. Max Androv, the former Kansas City Star, scored 3 goals for the Mariners. The hat trick was completed 16:48 into the third. Florida leads Fort Wayne 5-1. Former Grizzly Kyle Betts scored Florida's 5th goal of the night. That was 11:46 into the third. And that's action across the league. And how about those Atlanta Gladiators? Led by Guy Carenza, the broadcaster, and team president Jared Youngman. They are 7-1 on the year. They defeat Jacksonville 5-2. 4 games in the National Hockey League tonight. Games that have gone final. There are 2 of them. Rangers defeat the Red Wings 4-1 as the Rangers looking to get the offense rolling. New York got goals from 4 different players, and they get a 4-1 victory on the road in Detroit. Wild defeat the Islanders 5-2. Islanders did have a 27-26 shot advantage, but it's the Wild that come away with the 3-goal victory. After one period, Blackhawks lead the Flames 1-0. Tyler Bertuzzi scored a power play goal 12:32 into the first. And getting underway in just a couple minutes, the Wichita Thunder's NHL affiliate, the San Jose Sharks, host the Winnipeg Jets. Tomorrow night at 8 o'clock, the Grizzlies NHL affiliate, the Colorado Avalanche, are in action. They take on the Edmonton Oilers. Colorado is 8-1-5 on the season. Nathan McKinnon leads Colorado with 10 goals. Kel McCarr leads the club with 14 assists, and Scott Wedgwood has all 8 victories for Colorado this season. Former Wichita netminder Stuart Skinner leads the Oilers with 4 victories on the year. And at 5 o'clock over in Montreal, the Utah Mammoth take on the Montreal Canadiens. Both teams are off to good starts this season. Mammoth are 9-5, and they are 7-3 in their last 10 games. And they're led by Nick Schmaltz, who has 8 goals and 10 assists this season. Montreal is led by Cole Caulfield, who has 10 goals, and Nick Suzuki has 16 assists on the year. So that should be a fun one at 5 o'clock over in Montreal. Utah at Montreal. The Mammoths' next home game will be on Wednesday night as they take on Josh Doan, Michael Kesselring, and the Buffalo Sabres. When we come back, we'll have third period action over at INTRUST Bank Arena. Grizzlies got second period goals from Luke Manning and Neil Shea. We're back in 1 minute for third period action. We'll see if the Grizzlies can hold on to the lead and pick up their 4th victory of the season. You've been tuned into the Intermission Report on the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
Since 1939, America First has helped people start businesses, buy homes and cars, and achieve their financial goals. Today, our top priority is still the financial success of you and your family, which is why we're giving new members $100 when they sign up for a basic savings and checking account, and another $100 when they upgrade to premium checking and enroll in and use direct deposit. So head to americafirst.com today and join the credit union that always puts its members first.
From commercial to recreational truck accessories, Mountain Land Truck Outfitters has got what you need. Flatbeds, spray and bed liners, lifts and leveling kits, wheels and tires. Mountain Land Truck Outfitters proudly uses a brand you know and trust. And with our experienced, knowledgeable, and friendly staff, your visit here will be informative and enjoyable. Stop into our convenient location in Provo at 265 South 100 West or call 801-225-4637 to get a quote for your fleet or individual truck. Mountain Land Truck Outfitters.
We're about set for third period action as Utah leads Wichita 2-0. Grizzlies have gotten contributions from just about everybody, whether it contributes to the scoring sheet or not. Grizzlies will start the third period with, it appears, the forward line of Neil Shea, Jack Ricketts, and Ty Voigt. Utah is rolling with 11 forwards and 7 defensemen tonight. Kyle Kaiser's been outstanding in net. He has stopped all 20 he has seen. Kaiser with Colorado has a 2-1 record on the year with a .937 save percentage. Wichita is going to start the third period with their top forward line of Mikhail Stenell, Peter Bates, and Jay Dickman. Going to be important for the Grizzlies to kind of maintain control of this game in the first 3 or 4 minutes of the period. You know that Wichita probably got a good speech in the locker room from Bruce Ramsey, and you got to imagine that with them playing games in 3 straight days, they're not going to have a ton of energy for all 20 minutes, but they're probably going to give it a pretty good go of it to start the third period. So the Grizzlies are going to have to come with a little bit of jam to either maintain the 2-0 lead or maybe build on it and to see if they can come away with the 2 standings points. Ricketts will take the draw. Grizzlies will skate from right to left as we attempt to see the game on Flow Sports. Do bear with me as we'll try to paint the picture the best we can with the one camera feed that we have. Grizzlies win the draw. Shea will bounce it off TJ Lloyd. Ricketts gets the puck. He'll skate to the left side. He's double teamed. Ricketts lays it for Shea, who's already got a goal tonight. He'll sweep one towards the left circle where it's taken by Wichita's TJ Lloyd. And a long-range feed is picked off by Luke Salem. Salem gets to center ice. No backhanded in. Behind the net, Matt Davis will play it. Davis so far has saved 24 of 26. He catches with his right and his stick side's his left. Wichita will brush it deep into the Grizzlies zone, and icing is going to be called as the Grizzlies did a good job getting back defensively. And so the draw is going to come back towards Matt Davis, 29 seconds into the third period. We know there's a lot of sports and entertainment options out there. We appreciate everybody who chose the Grizzlies tonight in their battle against the Wichita Thunder. Utah will have just about a full week off. They will hit the ice next Friday as they take on the Idaho Steelheads in the opener of a 3-game series. Ricketts will take the draw left circle, and it's won by Wichita as they'll tap it off the glass, keeping it in as Pike, and he gets it brushed away out to center ice by Dickman. Pike will fire it on to Dickman. Dickman near center ice. He'll drive it in. Dickman's 32 years old, and this is his 7th season with the Thunder. Pike with a long-range feed angle left as it goes past Utah. Grizzlies will make a line change 50 seconds into the third period. Wichita out towards center ice. They try to jump cut Tyrone Bronte, the Australian, but the Grizzlies thwart that attempt. Bronte tries to drive it in, but it gets just to the Utah line as Hanson Bukata will move it ahead. As Timofeyev swung and missed from the right side. Puck goes back to center ice. Friesen throws it back in. As the Thunder up with the puck, TJ Lloyd will slide one across towards Kirby Proctor. Both guys from Lloydminster, but they're from different provinces of Lloydminster. As Krankovic will bounce one off the skate of Hanson Bukata. Grizzlies get to Danny Genev, the Penn State product. Race in the offensive zone. Veers off to the high slot. Takes a lefty shot. Saved by Davis. Rebound goes to the right corner. Timofeyev gets hit from behind. As the puck goes back towards Wichita near goal line. As they dance around, Friesen was in the area with number 25, Jack Barr. As the Thunder having a tough time clearing it out as the Grizzlies do a good job challenging Wichita in their own zone. Friesen gets knocked down by Barr as Friesen's now on his backside, trying to hold his ground as the puck ends up back towards the right corner. Chasing after it's Tyrone Bronte, who did not play last night. Bronte, 5'10", 179 pounds. Thunder out towards center ice. They'll slide one on to Kaiser, and Kaiser will brush it towards the right corner. Puck at neutral ice. Grizzlies get pushed along the near wing boards as Wichita comes out with a puck. As Wichita will bounce one towards the left side. Now shot saved by Kaiser. Rebound goes to the left wing. Griffin Ness holds his ground along the boards. Weinstein and Pike join the play. Now John Gillette skates over as he tries to yank it out of the pile. Grizzlies get it out as Gillette crosses center ice. The Holy Cross product, first-year pro, will chip it in. Ness chases after it. Ness has played a pretty strong game for Utah. He's had some good scoring chances and played well defensively. Puck will bounce off of Lebster, and it goes out to center ice. Lebster's got 2 assists tonight. He now has 2 multiple-point games on the season. 3 minutes into the third period, Wichita will hike it out to center ice. Puck hit the opposite in the Grizzlies zone as Skansky will get it across to Salem. Salem spins one towards his left. Grattan overskates it. Now Grattan gets a good shoulder from a Wichita skater as Salem collides with number 24, Nick Nardicia. And the puck slides into the Thunder zone as Davis will move it towards his right. Thunder spread the ice. Now they chip it ahead as Wichita will move it across out to center ice. Nardicia will step over the offense line. He's got good speed. He gets knocked down by Lebster. Grizzlies, Hanson Buchanan gets blasted to the boards. Puck back to the right point. Lloyd tries to get around Grattan as the puck slides towards the far wing boards. Grizzlies get it with Luke Manning. He'll one-handed ahead as Manning chases after it with Proctor. Manning behind Wichita's net as Proctor will push Manning along the boards. Puck goes back to center ice. Racing after it is Neil Shea. Shea's got a name on his sweater. He'll guide it towards his right. Grizzlies dance around. Colby ends. Will saucer it towards Voigt. Voigt backhands to Shea. Shea back towards Voigt on a give and go, but he was overled. No icing on the play. Grizzlies fit in a full line change. Voigt chases after it. Thunder come up with a puck. Jay Dickman will bounce the head, angle left. Pass goes tape to tape, and the Thunder will nudge it in as Felton and Mikkel Stenell collide. Puck goes back to Utah's Grizzlies towards center ice. Thunder will skate back into the offensive zone. Peter Bates dancing around as he's got somebody hanging towards his back. Puck slides towards the Utah right corner as the Thunder spin it back around. Wichita looking for their first goal of the game. Utah leads 2-0. Thunder back towards the left point. Bates will drop it back to Stenell, but it goes out to neutral ice. Wichita has to reset. Grizzlies make a full line change. Stenell over the offense line, skates down the middle, but he's offside. And after the whistle, Stenell pushes down Pike, and Ricketts goes after Stenell. Linesmen try to separate Ricketts and Stenell. 15-11 left in the third. As Stenell unnecessarily after the whistle decided to give Garrett Pike a good cross check up along the chest. And Jack Ricketts, very deservedly so, going after Stenell. There should be one penalty on the play, and it should be Mikkel Stenell. There was no need for him to just take his stick and just push down Garrett Pike about chest high from Pike. But no penalty on the play. Stenell got away with it, and Ricketts went after Stenell after the whistle. So Draw's going to be back in neutral ice. The Thunder were called for offsides. Grizzlies holding their ground with a 2-0 lead from goals from Luke Manning and Neil Shea. Thunder cross center ice as Jack Barr will pitchfork it in. Grizzlies back in the left corner of their own zone. 3-on-2 scrum with 3 Grizzlies nearby. As Friesen tries to break free. Puck slides back to where the pile had been. And now Wichita reversed the puck towards number 25, but it goes out of play as Jack Barr was trying to get the puck, but it ended up disappearing out of play with 14:50 left in the third. So Draw's going to come back towards the left circle. As both teams with sticks on knees and trying to catch as much air as they can. Both teams have given them pretty good effort tonight. Grizzlies came into the third period with a bit of a shot advantage. Wichita wins the draw, looking for a centering pass. It glances off a stick. Salem's in the area along with Gansky. Gansky takes it and he'll slide it out to neutral ice as it goes past Evan Friesen beyond all the way down for an icing. Actually, they were looking for Stepan Timofeyev at center ice. As icing's on Utah with 14:39 left in the third. Kyle Kaiser's holding his ground in net for the Grizzlies, and he's been solid so far. In fact, he's probably been better than solid, making his Grizzlies debut wearing number 38. He has stopped all 22 shots he has seen so far. Draw won by Utah as they clear it. A Grizzly player got tripped up trying to clear the zone. Whistle blows, and I'm not sure a penalty was called. Puck just ended up out of play. 14:34 is left in the third. Draw's going to be back in the Grizzlies zone. So face-off back in the left circle. Gansky and Salem have played a ton of minutes tonight, and they're on the ice right now. Both teams talking things over. Looks like a pretty good Friday night crowd over at INTRUST Bank Arena. Certainly a lot bigger than what they had last night. Sharp angled shot from the left corner, saved by Kaiser. Puck goes back towards the right side. Up top, Wichita. Dane goes back and forth. Righty shot goes wide. That was taken by Tyrone Bronte. Now puck back towards Bronte. Couldn't keep it in. Grizzlies race towards the offensive zone. Genev, right side, will take over lefty. Shot and it goes wide as he missed the net glove side on Davis. Puck back at center ice. Friesen tried to nudge it ahead towards Genev. Now Genev gets it. He's onside. He gets it knifed away. Arm is raised by the referee. It's going to be a penalty on. It's going to be on Utah. Over to the right side. Shot saved by Kaiser. And so it looks like it's going to be a penalty on Utah. Wichita is going to get a power play. 13:59 left in the third period. Looks like Evan Friesen goes to the box. Friesen's going to serve 2 minutes. And when we come back, Wichita is going to be on the power play. Utah leads 2-0. This is the Grizzlies Hockey Network.
Les Schwab changed the tire game more than 70 years ago. Today, we still believe that you should get more from less. Like exclusive tires we design ourselves means more tires made for the roads that you drive, less compromise. And we include America's best tire warranty in every tire we sell. It's more unbeatable warranty, less charging you extra. And our 60-day satisfaction guarantee means you'll be way more satisfied and way less stressed. For all this and more, you get more from less.
Since 1939, America First has helped people start businesses, buy homes and cars, and achieve their financial goals. Today, our top priority is still the financial success of you and your family, which is why we're giving new members $100 when they sign up for a basic savings and checking account, and another $100 when they upgrade to premium checking and enroll in and use direct deposit. So head to americafirst.com today and join the credit union that always puts its members first.
Evan Friesen's in the box. 2 minutes for tripping. Time a penalty, 6:01 in as there's 13:59 left in the third period. Grizzlies lead 2-0 on second period goals from Luke Manning and Neil Shea. Grizzlies are 2 for 2 on the penalty kill so far tonight. Thunder trying to climb back into the game. Grizzlies trying to hold their ground. Utah's looking for its fourth victory. In fact, both teams are looking for their fourth win of the year. Utah's 3-5-1 and Wichita's 3-3-2-1. Taking the draw for the Grizzlies, I believe, is Christian Felton. Felton, a defenseman, taking the draw for Utah. As the Grizzly goes down, Utah wanted a penalty, none to be had. Thunder back towards the right side. Now they feed it up top. Wichita dancing back and forth. Now they get back to the right side. Stenell over to the high slot. He'll chip it behind him for Bates. Bates on the right side. He'll feed it to the right goal line. Dickman with a drag towards Kaiser, who kicks it with his right pad. And the Grizzlies clear it out. Kind of looked like in front of the net, Dickman was looking for a wraparound from one side of the post to the other, and Kaiser was able to make a good stop. Thunder have the puck as they're still in their own zone. They race out to neutralize. Wichita left wing crosses center ice. Bates over the line. He'll roll it back around the wall towards Stenell on the right side. Now Bates skates back around Utah's net towards the right side. He gets the puck. Bates right side, tries to kick it out in front. Utah gets it and they clear it out. Grizzlies doing a good job protecting their house tonight. We played 7 minutes into the third period. Utah leads 2-0. Thunder will move it towards their right. Finnegan over the offensive line. He'll drop it for Smith. Smith gets pushed towards the right corner by Noah Gansky as Manning gets belted by Huell. And the Grizzlies will clear it all the way back towards Davis, who collects it in front of the crease, and he'll keep the play alive as he gets to Kyle Master. 40 seconds on a moving clock in Wichita's power plays. Friesen's in the box. 2 minutes for tripping. 6:01 into the period. Huell gets hit by Pike as he was trying to enter. Pike gets the puck, and he'll sling it all the way back towards Davis. Masters with the puck. Now there's 24 seconds left in the power play. Masters down the middle casually. Now he'll nudge it towards his right. Grizzlies bat it back towards Masters, who will skate back into his own zone. Kyle Masters skates along the right side, dances back and forth, crosses center ice, steps over the offensive line, stops before he got towards Garrett Pike. Puck behind Utah's net. The Grizzlies will sling it all the way back towards Matt Davis. Coming out of the box is Evan Friesen. I'm not sure Wichita even got a shot off on their power play. Masters gains the center red line, and he'll dump it in as Friesen was nearby. Puck goes back to Wichita as they get it up top, but nobody was home at the point. Puck goes to center ice. Thunder back in control. Slinging it along the boards is number 25, Jack Barr. Puck goes to center ice. Grizzlies cross center. Now over the offensive Blues, Friesen. He gets to Genev. Genev left side. He'll take a righty shot, and that's sticked away by Davis. Grizzlies roll it back towards the right side. Friesen finesses it to Genev. Genev skates along the right goal line. Lefty shot saved by Davis. Puck goes back towards the right wing. Now Wichita comes up with it. Thunder race across center ice, and dumping it in is Matt Nardicia. Number 24 has got good speed. Genev in the area. He lets it go to the right side. Grizzlies try to force their way to center ice. Utah gets blasted along the near wing boards, and that was the two number 24s. John Gillette getting hit by Nick Nardicia. Wichita over in the left corner of the offensive zone as they push it towards Utah's net. Ty Voigt in the area. He'll nudge it towards the far side. Grizzlies will bounce one to center ice. Utah will make a full line change. 10:40 on a moving clock. Wichita's Peter Bates dancing around. Spins. Backhand shot. Saved by Kaiser. Boy, what a beautiful move by Bates. Tried to sling one on to Kaiser, and Kaiser gloves it and holds on with 10:37 left in the third. If you joined us late, neither team scored in the first period. Utah outshot Wichita 13-8. Grizzlies got on the board 8-11 into the second period as Luke Manning redirected a Reed Webster shot. Christian Felton also picked up an assist. And then 19-19 into the second, Grizzlies scored on a power play. Neil Shea got his fourth of the year. He has a goal in 4 straight games. Webster and Gratton with the assists. In the third period, Wichita's outshot Utah 6-4. Grizzlies maintain a 30-26 edge in the shot count. Puck at center ice as Tyler Gratton gets these skates towards the right circle. Take a lefty shot. Saved by Davis. And the Thunder cleared up but not out. Felton kept it in. Felton's got 1 assist tonight. He has an assist in back-to-back games in this series. Wichita will drag it out to center ice down the middle. Felton gets a piece of it. Wichita regathers it, and they'll fire it on towards Kaiser, who cuts it off. Kaiser had a pretty good run with Colorado earlier in this season. He had 1 game where he didn't allow a goal, and we're not going to use the word that starts with an S that has 7 letters in it, but Kaiser's got a few of those as a professional. As Huell gets to center ice left wing, dangling back and forth. Now bounce one off a Grizzly as Utah will drag it out to center ice. Voigt will chip it in. Chasing after it, Jack Ricketts along with Voigt. Davis behind his net. We'll move it to the right side. Voigt centers to Ricketts. Will take a lefty shot, and it's blocked before it gets to Davis. Colbien's right point. He'll get it in deep as Ricketts gets pushed to the boards by Nico Somerville. Ricketts over to the right side. Shea slides to Hanson Buchanan. He'll take a lefty shot, saved by Davis. Puck goes over to Enns. Ends around the boards. Voigt gets the puck. He reverses field, and he gets belted as he tried to get towards the right corner. He got hit by Kyle Krenkovic. Wichita skates towards the right side. Siren pass goes through the crease and back towards the left wing. Grizzlies cross center ice. Tyler Gratton veers off to the left after stepping over the offense line. Gets double team, make that Ricketts. Timo Feyev tried to get to Genev out in front of the net. Genev got his stick lifted. Wichita has the puck. They're deep in their own zone. Grizzlies will switch up skaters. 8:42 on a moving clock. Third period. Grizzlies lead 2-0. Thunder look like a tired team. They're playing games in their 3rd straight day. Crossing center ice is Finnegan. He'll bounce one in. Finnegan, a native of Kansas, as puck goes back to Utah. Grizzlies will sail it from one blue line to the other where it's gloved and dropped by Barr. Barr nudges ahead left wing at the Utah line. A rink-wide feed, incomplete to Declan Smith. Genev gets it off the wall. Genev tried to get it to a cutting Friesen as it's batted away by TJ Lloyd. Now Genev will reverse the puck back to the right wing. Garrett Pike will throw it in deep as Wichita gets the puck. Gillette in the area as the Thunder will sky to center ice, gloved and dropped by Weinstein. Weinstein pivots. Now do a half circle, get to center ice, and he'll spin it along the boards. As Grizzlies get towards Gillette, who will let it go. He couldn't reach it. As the Thunder, Jay Dickman will feed a rink-wide feed angle left, and it goes wide of the mark. 7:40 on a moving clock, third period. 2-0 Grizzlies. Out off the boards to Ness, and he'll drive it to the right corner. Grizzlies make a full line change. Boy, Griffin Ness has played a good game tonight. Thunder start the attack skating from left to right. Down the middle, Peter Bates crosses center ice, splits a double team. He'll dump it into the right corner. Bates chases after it. Colby ends in the area. Grizzlies will nudge it ahead about 10 feet, tape to Gratton. Gratton with long strides, second-year pro, gets to Lepster in the left wing. Lepster just outside the circle. Centers to Manning. He'll take a lefty shot that goes wide. Manning had a 2-goal game late last season. Right side shot blocked by Davis. Manning scored Utah's first goal of the night. Manning has the puck on the right side. He fires the lefty shot that goes wide. Davis out in front of the crease. The puck deflects out of play with 6:57 left in the third. So timeout on the ice. Utah leads 2-0. We're back in 1 minute on the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
Since 1939, America First has helped people start businesses, buy homes and cars, and achieve their financial goals. Today, our top priority is still the financial success of you and your family, which is why we're giving new members $100 when they sign up for a basic savings and checking account, and another $100 when they upgrade to premium checking and enroll in and use direct deposit. So head to americafirst.com today and join the credit union that always puts its members first.
From commercial to recreational truck accessories, Mountain Land Truck Outfitters has got what you need. Flatbeds, spray and bed liners, lifts and leveling kits, wheels and tires. Mountain Land Truck Outfitters proudly uses a brand you know and trust. And with our experienced, knowledgeable, and friendly staff, your visit here will be informative and enjoyable. Stop into our convenient location in Provo at 265 South 100 West or call 801-225-4637 to get a quote for your fleet or individual truck. Mountain Land Truck Outfitters.
Utah leads 2-0 with 6:57 left in the third period. Grizzlies will have just about a week off until their next game, which is next Friday, as they take on the Idaho Steelheads, and that's going to be at Maverick Center. Get your tickets, UtahGrizzlies.com, and it's Pucks and Pups, where you can bring your dog to the game. You do have to pay for your dog, and you'll sit in a couple sections with other dogs, and they can interact, socialize, and do what dogs normally do. Thunder win the face-off. They're in their own zone. They will sky it into the Grizzlies zone. No icing on the play. Grizzlies run it down. As over to the right side, puck fired on towards Kaiser, who will kick in the butterfly position. Grizzlies clear it back to center. Thunder reset the attack. Wichita won 6-4 last night. Grizzlies looking for some revenge this evening. Grizzlies will bounce it off one of the linesmen, and the Thunder will throw it back in. Grizzlies back behind their own net as Utah will sling it towards their left for Manning. Manning gets around one skater across the center ice. He's a good skater. Manning stops along the near wing boards in the offensive zone, and he'll roll it along the wall. Lepster in the area along with a couple Thunder skaters. Wichita back up with it. Wichita, one of two teams in the league, nicknamed the Thunder, as Wichita will drop it off, and they spread the ice, doing a little bit of a four-man weave. Thunder out towards neutral ice. Somerville from blue line to blue line off a stick. Grizzlies run after it. As Felton with the puck, he'll skate around Kaiser's net. Kaiser making his Grizzlies debut as Utah gets a pass void out to center ice. Thunder re-enter from the left wing. Lefty shot goes wide as Voigt over in the right corner. Referee Rocco Stakoviak trying to get out of the way. Voigt will race around Utah's net towards the far side, get it to Ricketts. Ricketts will bounce one towards center ice. Shea slides it to the middle of the ice for Felton. Felton directs it to Voigt, who taps it back up top for Pike. Pike just lunged the puck and shoveled it towards the goaltender, Matt Davis. Davis has played a pretty good game for Wichita, as we've had a little bit of a low-scoring affair. Thunder back in their own zone. Now they'll direct the puck out to center ice. As throwing it in is number 20, Noah Beck. Grizzlies roll it along the near wing wall with about 5 minutes left in the third period. Up top, TJ Lloyd with a shot that's blocked. Friesen gets the loose puck, and he'll squib it ahead towards Genev. Genev gains the center red line, and he'll throw it in. As Grizzlies and Thunder both spread the ice, Wichita in control, less than 5 minutes left in regulation. Lloyd dangling back and forth, gets towards center ice, faked it towards Proctor, and he'll throw it back to the right corner. Gansky loses the puck as Wichita gets back up top. Lefty shot saved by Kaiser. Grizzlies come back the other way. Genev overskates it, gets it back. He'll backhand it off the boards towards Salem, who's in the Grizzlies zone. Gansky will move it to his left. Grizzlies cross center ice, and dumping it in is Stepan Timofeyev. He's got a current 3-game point scoring streak on the line. He doesn't have a point tonight, but he's played pretty well. Thunder out to neutral ice, 4:10 on a moving clock. Wichita gets to center ice. Proctor backhands it towards the Utah line. He gets it back at the line and throws it in deeper as Shea gets double-teamed over in the left corner. John Gillette chasing nearby. Grizzlies skate from right to left here in the period. Masters right side throws to the middle of the ice, and it couldn't be handled by Donovan Huell. Houle, his last name. Grizzlies at center ice in the left wing, and they'll dump it in as Utah will switch up forwards. John Gillette will skate towards the bench as Wichita will direct it towards their left. Huell will fire one in deep as it ricochets off Utah's backboard. Ricketts over in the corner. He's out there with Lebster. Lebster throws to the left point, but the Thunder keep it in. Masters winds and fires as righty shot goes wide. Stick side on Kaiser. Puck slides back at center ice. Now Masters gets it back at the Wichita line as Manning gets it as the puck was intended for Bates. Puck ended up back in neutral ice. Manning carried it in offside with 3:19 left in the third. We'll come back and find out how this one ends on the other side. Utah leads Wichita 2-0. You're listening to the Grizzlies Hockey Network.
Les Schwab changed the tire game more than 70 years ago. Today, we still believe that you should get more from less. Like exclusive tires we design ourselves means more tires made for the roads that you drive, less compromise. And we include America's best tire warranty in every tire we sell. It's more unbeatable warranty, less charging you extra. And our 60-day satisfaction guarantee means you'll be way more satisfied and way less stressed. For all this and more, you get more from less.
Utah leads 2-0. In the third period, Wichita's outshot Utah 7-6, but the Grizzlies have a 32-27 edge in the shot count. Draw's going to be at neutral ice after the Grizzlies were called for offside. And how about Kyle Kaiser making his Grizzlies debut? He has staved all 27 shots so far. Manning's going to take the draw. He's got Lebster to his right and Gratton to his left. And Gansky and Salem, the defensive pairing. Without knowing how many minutes each defenseman's played, I could say that Salem and Gansky have played quite a bit here tonight. Thunder win the face-off. They skate from left to right as we see it from Flow Sports. Out to the right side, Thunder cross center ice. Bates will tap it off the boards and chase after it as he gets a rough ride along the left side from Lebster. Gansky will fling it along the boards. Now the Grizzlies chip it back to the far side, but not out. Lefty shot from the left wing. That goes wide. Grizzlies get it off the wall. Utah ahead towards Lebster. Lebster will curl it back to Manning. Manning in the left wing. He'll bounce one off a Thunder stick. Manning gets it back. He avoids a check of number 10. And puck goes back up top, although Wichita doesn't have a number 10 on their roster. Actually, they did, but he got called up earlier today. Thunder back in their own zone. 2:35 on a moving clock, third period. Masters, the former Iowa Wild and Iowa Heartlander, gets around Hanson Buchanan. Right side, tried to center. That's sticked away by Ends. As Masters back towards the left side. As looks like an extra attacker is out there for Wichita. Their net might be empty with 2:17 left in the third. Empty net for Wichita, 6-on-5. Everybody's in the Grizzlies zone. Thunder will get it back towards Becky's in the right wing. Thunder moving across. Left side, Thunder looking to get on the board as they fire a sharp-angled shot that's blocked. Beck gets the puck. He's in the high slot. He directs it towards Huell. Huell gets the slow-moving pass. He'll direct it back up top to Beck. Beck will fling it towards his right for Masters. Masters directs it to the right goal line for Huell. Huell dances around, pivots, reverses field. Huell now in the right circle, sires out to Finnegan. He'll take a righty shot that goes wide. A minute 42 left in regulation. Big scrum out in front. Now it kicks to the left corner. Stenell throws it up top as Masters will get it back towards Stenell. Stenell over to the right side. One-timer goes wide. That was taken by Beck from the right circle as Kaiser collided with the Thunder skater. Wichita battles with a couple Grizzlies along the left wing. We get a whistle, and Kaiser's net got dislodged as there was a collision out in front. So play stops with a minute 21 left in the third as they put the net back in place. Wichita's net is empty, and the Grizzlies maintain a 2-0 lead. So the Grizzlies will switch up skaters, and Wichita just trying to find some fresh bodies. Third game in as many days, and that's a tough situation for any hockey team. Grizzlies actually faced the reverse situation where they played 3 games in 3 days, but the opposition was only playing the second game of a back-to-back, and that was October 19th. So a timeout's been called, we believe, by Bruce Ramsey, the Wichita coach, as they want to keep that same 6-man unit on the ice that the Thunder do, and so they want to give them a little bit of a breather. Grizzlies talking things over with head coach John Buchanan and assistant coach Ryan Anderson. And what a great effort it's been for the Grizzlies tonight on both ends of the ice. You knew it was going to be tough to score on Matt Davis, the talented rookie goaltender for Wichita. But the Grizzlies did score twice in the second period. Luke Manning redirected a Reed Webster shot 8-11 in. Christian Felton also picked up an assist. And Neil Shea on a power play 19-19 into the second. He now has a goal in 4 straight games. Webster and Gratton with the assist. So 2 assists for Reed Webster. And everybody talking things over on both benches. Now the Thunder will skate towards the Grizzlies zone for the face-off. There's 1:21 seconds left in the third period as the Grizzlies are up 2-0. The third period shot count sees Wichita with a 7-6 edge. Grizzlies have outshot the Thunder 32-27. Draw's going to be over in the left circle. Luke Manning will take it for Utah. Fans pounding the glass. Looks like a pretty good crowd over at INTRUST Bank Arena. Grizzlies win the face-off, and they'll sail it all the way out. And it goes towards the empty net, and it's wide of the mark. Attendance is listed at 11,860 over in Wichita. Believe it or not, they had 1,835 last night, so a huge increase in attendance tonight. 1:14 left in the third. Face-off's going to be on the left side once again. Manning for Utah, Dickman for the Thunder. Manning crouches down low. He scored his first goal of the game, redirecting a Webster shot 8-11 in. Right now it's listed as the game winner. Waiting for the linesman to drop the puck. It's won by Utah. Gansky dances around over in the left corner. He gets pushed by Dickman. Pike in the area along with Manning. As time is on the Grizzlies side, 1:05 left in regulation. As the Grizzlies come out with the puck, they'll throw it up, but not out as it kind of stays along the boards. Now it's reversed back to the right wing. Keeping it in is Beck. Beck fires towards the net. It gets redirected by a stick and it flies out of play off the protective netting. 52.8 seconds left in the third. Jay Dickman, you can always expect him to be in front of the net. He's a big guy at 6'6" and 205 pounds out of St. Paul, Minnesota. So Grizzlies will get a few fresh bodies on the ice. Jack Ricketts, John Gillette. Looks like Ricketts is going to take the face-off. He talks things over with Kyle Kaiser. Now Ricketts talks with the 3 Grizzlies who are hanging out in the slot. Face-off's going to be in the right circle. 2-0 Utah. Draw won by the Grizz as Garrett Pike gets pushed towards the right corner boards. Scrums are in the Grizzlies' favor. A puck lifts out to center ice. 44 seconds. Beck has the puck as he drops it off. Thunder still in their own zone. Now they get out to neutralize. Crossing center, Kyle Masters whips it in. As puck to the left wing. 32 seconds left. As the Thunder back around the net, they get it towards the right side. Wichita dancing around. Beck, toe drag, 24 seconds left. Cross-ice pass goes to Masters. He's in the left point. He'll take a righty shot. Glove save by Kaiser. 19 seconds are left in the third period. And we could just about put this baby in the refrigerator. Kyle Kaiser's played a good one. Kaiser has saved all 28 shots he has seen so far. Draw's going to be over in the left circle. Face-off won by the Grizzlies. Utah will tap it off the glass. Somehow was able to be kept in by Masters. 12 seconds left. Kaiser had 1 shutout for Colorado earlier this season. He had 1 last season in Rush. He's had a handful in his pro career. 5 seconds left. Masters fires towards the net. Saved by Kaiser. And the puck goes towards the corner. And that will do it. Grizzlies win! Grizzlies win! Grizzlies went 2-0. And there is no doubt about it as Kyle Kaiser gets the shutout. He had 1 shutout with Colorado earlier this season. He gets a 29-save clean sheet as the Grizzlies got second period goals from Luke Manning and Neil Shea. And what an effort by John Buchanan's crew as they pick up their 4th victory of the regular season. Boy, a huge crowd over at INTRUST Bank Arena of over 11,000. And that actually was closer to 12,000. And the Grizzlies head to the locker room victorious. As Kyle Kaiser should be the #1 star of the game. He gets a 29-save shutout, and he was unbelievable throughout. He made some great saves in the first period, and he held on strong. And the Grizzlies' defensive unit's got to get a lot of credit. All 7 defensemen in the lineup tonight played outstanding. Griffin Ness played a strong 2-way game, and hey, the Grizzlies came away with the 2 standings points with an outstanding effort. Grizzlies go to 4-5-1 on the season. And how about Kyle Kaiser? He's had a few shutouts in his pro career. He had 1 earlier this season with Colorado. He had 1 in Russia last season. He also had 1 shutout for Maine during the 2023-24 season, one AHL shutout for Providence in the 2022-23 campaign, and he also had one shutout for Providence in the 2021-22 season. So in total, if you count the year he spent in Russia, it is Kyle Kaiser's 6th professional shutouts. He had 4 shutouts for the Oshawa, actually with the Oshawa Generals. He had 6 shutouts in his OHL career. So how about that, Kyle Kaiser and his Grizzlies debut, and it's a memorable one. It's the Grizzlies' 2nd shutouts already this season, as Dylan Wells had a 46-save clean sheet at Idaho on October 24th. It's kind of funny, they forced Declan Smith to go out and be recognized by the crowd as the Wichita star of the game. Grizzlies are all in the locker room celebrating as they come away with the 2-0 victory as they split the 2-game series over in Wichita. Post-game show starts in 30 seconds. Once again, the final from Maverick Center, or from INTRUST Bank Arena. I'm hanging out at Maverick Center, and I'm a happy camper as Utah wins 2-0. This is the Grizzlies Hockey Network. It's Kyle Kaiser's 6th professional shutout, especially if you count the one he had in the KHL last year. He had 3 shutouts in the AHL, 2 with the Providence Bruins and 1 earlier this season with the Colorado Eagles. And this is his 2nd ECHL shutout. He had 1 clean sheet with Maine in the 2023-24 season, had 1 last season in Russia. So 6 pro shutouts. He had 6 shutouts in his junior hockey career in the OHL with the Oshawa Generals. Well, neither team scored in the first period. Utah outshot Wichita 13-8. Both teams had some pretty good looks, but nobody found the back of the net. It was a pretty strong goaltending battle, and you got to hand it to Wichita goaltender Matt Davis. He played a strong game, saving 30 of 32. Grizzlies finally got on the board as Reed Lepster was along the right wing boards, fired towards the net, and according to the off-ice officials, it got redirected by Luke Manning and passed Davis for the game's first goal. That was 8-11 into the first. Manning scored his first of the season. Lepster and Felton with the assist. The goal was originally given to Reed Lepster. Lepster did skate to the bench after talking things over with Manning. Manning wasn't sure he got a piece of it, but the off-ice officials changed their mind and gave Luke Manning his first goal of the year. And, for Luke Manning, he's played pretty good hockey this season and deserved the goal. He had 18 goals in 67 games last season with the Grizzlies. Utah got a power play late in the second period, but there was some crazy stuff that happened between Utah's first and second goal. And even 9 minutes into the second period, Griffin Ness got in a fight with Declan Smith. Smith threw more punches than Ness, but Ness was able to keep his feet before the linesmen were able to step in. And then on the following faceoff, 9:01 in, exactly 1 second later, Nick Nardicia picked up a delay of game faceoff infraction. He scooped up the puck and picked it up. So he got a penalty. And then on Utah's power play, Danny Genev was just racing down the middle of the ice at full speed. He crashed into his teammate and then fell down. His helmet popped off, and Genev got back to his feet and started to play hockey again. But according to the rules, you can't do that. You either got to skate to the bench immediately, or you have to pick up your helmet, put it back on, strap it, and then get back and playing. So Genev got a helmet violation, 10-20 in, and that did it for Utah's power play. It was Spencer Blackwell's boarding minor, 18-15, that gave Utah a late second period power play, and Neil Shea converted as Tyler Gratton had the puck at the left goal line, tried to get to Lepster. Puck ricocheted off of Wichita, stick back towards Shea, and then Shea from the left wing was able to fire it past Davis. Shea now has a goal in 4 straight games. He got his 4th of the year with Lepster and Gratton getting the assists. Lepster ended the night with 2 assists, and Tyler Gratton now leads Utah with 6 assists on the season. Neither team scored in the third period, and that was just fine by Utah. Wichita outshot Utah 9-6 in the third period. Grizzlies did have a 32-29 edge in the shot count, and Kyle Kaiser with the 2nd ECHL shutout He had 3 AHL shutouts earlier in his career and 1 in the KHL last season. So his 6th professional shutout. He had 6 in the OHL with the Oshawa Generals. And what can you say? Kyle Kaiser, he had 3 great games with the Colorado Eagles earlier this season where he went 2-1 with a .937 save percentage. And even though it's been a while since he's played in a game before tonight, he looked about as sharp as can be. He saved all 29, and he picks up Utah's 2nd shutout of the season. Dylan Wells stopped all 46 Idaho shots on October 24th. And tonight, Kyle Kaiser, in his Utah Grizzlies debut, gets a 29-save shutout. Let's check out the 3 stars of the game. 3rd star is the guy who scored the game winner, Luke Manning. He redirected the Reed Webster shot. Manning had 3 shots, and he was a +1, and he scored the game winner 8-11 into the 2nd period. So he's the 3rd star. 2nd star goes to Reed Webster, who had 2 assists. He was a +1 and had 2 shots. Webster is the 2nd star. And the number 1 star is goaltender Kyle Kaiser. Got a 29-save shutout, and he has not allowed a goal in a Grizzlies uniform as of yet. Kyle Kaiser is the number 1 star of the game. And he's the first Grizzlies goaltender this season to be named number 1 star. You'll remember Dylan Wells, he had that shutout against Idaho in Game 4 of the regular season, but he was just the 2nd star, as that was the game where Reed Webster scored 3 goals and 1 assist. So Webster has 2 multiple-point games this season, and both of them came in Grizzlies shutouts. It was a huge crowd at INTRUST Bank Arena of 11,860, but they didn't see any Wichita goals as the Grizzlies with 2 goals in the 2nd, and they made it count as Utah comes away with a 2-0 victory. Well, if you're Utah, if you're a realistic thinker and you probably thought this 2-game series against Wichita was going to end up in a split, that's exactly what happened. Wichita won 6-4 last night. Grizzlies get a 2-0 victory tonight. Grizzlies have scored just as many goals as they've allowed this season. Utah's scored 28 goals, and they've allowed 28. Utah's going to have a week off before they take on the Idaho Steelheads for a big 3-game series. That's going to be next Friday at Maverick Center at 7 o'clock, and then the scene will shift to Idaho Central Arena for games on Saturday, November 15th at 7 o'clock, and Sunday, a very rare Sunday home game in Idaho. That will be at 4 o'clock. So it's kind of odd that the last regular season game the Grizzlies will ever have in Boise will be on a Sunday afternoon. We have to check, at least going back the last decade, as far as I can remember, Grizzlies have not had a Sunday game in Idaho. So you're talking about a rare occasion for what will be the final time the Grizzlies will ever be at Idaho Central Arena in the regular season. So that should be a ton of fun. Make sure to get your tickets next Friday for the game at Maverick Center at UtahGrizzlies.com. Well, Neil Shays now has a goal in 4 straight games and a point in 5 straight. And Reed Webster, he's been outstanding for the Grizzlies. He's been doing it with the goal scoring as he has 5 goals to lead Utah, but he did it with 2 assists tonight. And Tyler Gratton with 1 assist, he leads Utah with 6 assists on the season. Well, that'll just about wrap things up as I'm hanging out at the Grizz Cave at Maverick Center. Once again, in 2 hours and 24 minutes and in front of a big crowd of 11,860 over at INTRUST Bank Arena. It was the Kyle Kaiser show as he saved all 29 Wichita shots as he picks up Utah's 2nd shutout of the season. We'll talk to you on Friday night, 6:50 pregame show, 7:10 face-off at Maverick Center as the Grizzlies start out a 3-game series against the Idaho Steelheads. I'm Tyson Whiting, and I'm just pursuing my dream, and that's to someday find a way to get to the National Hockey League. Grizzlies win 2-0. You've been tuned in to the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network. Good night, everybody.